Yeah, the summoner changes are.
Yeah, I'm still
ridiculous.
excited about the White Mage Totem.
Yeah.
White Mage Totem is a game changer.
Oh, did they already do healers?
No, they did not.
There's a job action trailer.
Here, I'll link it to you.
Oh,
They went through all the jobs and just did a bunch of abilities, and it's like, ooh, that's new. That looks cool.
Yeah, they just
White Mage
showed
has
you
a
all these.
really
They showed you all these abilities with zero context, so you're just like,
I put it in general for you. It's a 20-minute video. You can just look through and find what you want.
yeah, perfect.
Oh geez, 20 minutes, holy fuck.
but I do think White Mage Totem was the biggest surprise.
I think Summers is the biggest, like, they got something really cool. They actually feel like a summoner now.
Can now feel like
Yeah.
This music though, what the fuck?
Right?
Am I gonna have to change? Am I gonna have to
So
change the
far.
size for each of those fucking summons though, separately?
Oh, don't.
Me. Can you just make it all one fucking size change?
Or have it separately, but have a button that allows you to just change all of the sides. So
Well, yeah, but each person already has to do it themselves, right?
For
And
both, yeah.
Bahamut and the other thing, it's already a separate fucking thing to resize. Like you have to resize them separately yourself. But now there's a Titan, Garuda, and Ifrit too.
As much as
You're
it
gonna have
would
to
suck,
resize those.
it's only 3 commands, so it's not terrible, but...
I mean, like,
5.
Well, it's 3 more commands, I mean.
I know, but I shouldn't have to. Just put it in the menu and just make it one thing.
well, I don't think you actually understood what I was saying. Huh? And this music is pretty. How do you play Final Fantasy XIV? Well, let's start with the music.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's a second White Mage.
Yeah.
It just copies your AoE spells.
No, I think it just periodically.
Yeah,
no,
I think it's a
no,
periodic pulse.
it copied when they used Holy. It cast Holy when they used
That's even better.
like, so it lets
Wait.
you put a second healer in another position.
So is the
Basically.
fucking, Living Shadow or whatever it's called?
Maybe.
The Dark Knight.
There's an update to Glare. You can Fluid Aura yourself and
Ow, fuck.
ally.
It doesn't cast Holy.
Oh, you're right. It heals. It casts a heal.
Yeah, it just periodically bursts out a heal. But the White Mage's Holy has a flower in it.
That was brand new.
Yeah, it might just be a different AoE spell.
Well, I mean, like the timing of it is at the end of the cast is when it's going off, right? Like that's what.
Yeah, I know, but I had already cast one before, so I think it's just a periodic every couple of seconds.
No, because
Saga.
so single target attacks didn't do anything.
No, I'm talking about what the Lily does. Is before that, she summons the Lily, right? So she summons the little totem, boop,
Yep.
and then it immediately.
No, then,
A
then he
couple
casts.
seconds later.
Then he
Nope.
casts a Fluid Aura on the Paladin again, and then it.
Yeah, and then a heal goes off after
Right.
a couple of seconds of summoning the totem, and then in an almost equal amount of seconds after that, it puts out another heal.
real quick, someone brought up a good point that trying to do Ultima Weapon with 4 summoners is going to be an absolute fucking nightmare. Because there's going to be not only the summons to watch out for of Garuda Titan Ifrit, but now all 4 summoners also be summoning Garuda Titan Ifrit when they're not ones you need to be avoiding. It's going to be an absolute shit show.
That is gonna be a mess. I think I might dip Battle Suit because I have a headache and I'm not making it better.
I was just looking at that. People pointing out that Yoshi P has a bunch of eggs on his hotbar too.
And people eat eggs.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Mel?
So,
They're taking a quick intermission.
I know I'm sore and in pain because I coached volleyball today.
Oh, I thought you saw that Scholar got nothing. We're bummed.
Oh,
You coached volleyball with a
Dollar
stone.
got some cool things, it looks like.
I passed the stone.
Oh,
Yes.
congratulations.
Thank you. I still have moderate pain, but now
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pain over because
Not as
old
bad.
lady hasn't moved for a week and a half. I'm excited for Bard.
Yeah, it looks so good. We get stickers for our songs, so I don't know what they do.
Did Chronic share
Biggest
the
stickers.
gift I found?
Yeah. I know we get like that secondary song, but I just don't know what the fuck it does.
I'm sorry, but this song that's playing right now sounds straight up like a Disney song.
A little bit, yeah.
Um,
And I ain't
Send you that
complaining, I like
what?
Disney.
Yeah.
Sounds like FF12 music.
I've never played any other Final Fantasy game other than this one and a little bit of 15, but not enough to say that I know anything
That's
about
a
15.
shame. You should play more.
oh, 7 is good. Gotta play 7.
I do have the remix.
Yeah, that's
Remix.
spelled music.
Remake. Fuck. God. Shit. I am bad at words today. I was playing League today and got really angry.
So that's when I found, and when I saw we could sing multiple songs, I was like, that's perfect.
Let me just real quick too. I would not be surprised if something very similar.
Ooh. Song though. Cool, pretty cool.
Paladin, how many swords would you like? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Also, people are joking about how summer rotation was long beforehand. It's now even longer.
So it's technically not a rotation if it takes you longer to finish it than to kill the boss.
We'll be back.
戻ってまいり
はい
ました。
戻りました
第66回ファイナルファンタジー14プロデュースされたライブ、ジョブのご
Let's
説
go.
明を続けております。
I got a snack.
Welcome back to
I should have got a snack.
Final Fantasy XIV letter from the traditional
Then
line
I
number
got
66.
rice.
We are now explaining the
Yoshiki's missing a
job
snack.
changes.
And a snap.
He is the snack.
Oh,
さあ、
続いてまいりましょう。
あ
行きましょうか。
You're a snack.
続いては、あ、ごめんね。
I'll lie to my face.
遠隔物理 DPS。
Oh,
You like
yes!
it? You like
Shut
it?
up!
No.
Physical range.
Yes!
Alright, everybody talk about some random bullshit so Aqua can't hear.
そうですね。
bullshit, 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 bullshit.
I got a mute button.
I
I'll do
will
that.
mute you all.
Wait, hold on, wait, no, this is
遠
the
隔物
physical
理の
range,
共
never
通
mind.
点としては、さっきお話しした基本武器の性能を上げてるんでというお話
It's always
になっ
been.
ております。
And so for the physical range DPS, and this goes across all of the jobs within this role, the parity between the physical and magical damage attributes of weapons will be at the same. And then, yeah, it's just similarly to what we had explained about how we're bolstering the physical damage calculation numbers.
で、まあそれぞれがオーソドックスに進化している感じなので、まあこの後説明していきます。
And each job is just, they have been updated accordingly in a fairly orthodox manner. So we'll just jump into it, each individual ones.
で、共通しているポイントとしてもう一個あって、ダメージ軽減系のバフですね。パーティーバフは3ジョブともリキャストが90秒になってます。
But there's one additional point that applies across the physical range DPS jobs is that any sort of buffs that mitigate damage, the recast timer has been adjusted to 90 seconds.
Oh!
さあ、
Fuck
で
yeah.
は銀融詩人からいき
Oh
ましょう。
hell yes!
It's like 180
Jumping
before,
right
wasn't it?
into Bard.
120 for machinist.
はい、
Okay, 120.
どうぞ。
For tactician, it's 120.
Yeah.
まず既存3種類の戦火アクションから派生する、まあ、パーティーバフアクションを追加しております。
Damn.
Says each of the 3 songs will make available
There you go,
a
take
new
back your
action that
rightful
applies
place.
a party-wide
So we got
enhancement.
Old Troubadour back, but now it
歌
applies a
に
buff
よるね
instead.
結構リクエストされる機会が多かったので、既
Interesting.
存3つの戦火アクションから派生して効果内容がねこうさらに上昇していくみたいなパーティーバフを追加してます。
So of course, there has been a lot of feedback and requests for more like abilities that would allow for like support using songs.
Thank you. That was our thing.
And so we wanted to take the existing 3 songs that the Bard has in its kit and kind of add a sort of party buff and something that would enhance its effect.
で、まあ、エーペックスアローから発生する新アクションが追加されてたりします。
Oh, the combo.
And then a new action will be available upon execution of Apex.
This Bard's first ever combo ability?
旅心のメヌエットとかバトルボイスがリキャスト120秒合わせになるなど、細かく調整が行われてます。
I guess
Other
Apex
adjustments
is currently
include Wanderer's Minuet and Battle Voice recast timers have been adjusted to match 120 seconds, and other various adjustments have been made.
Won't say no to that.
Sorry, one moment.
Battle Voice, what was the other one?
Wanderers.
Which one's that? Oh, that's the one that reduces the, or gets rid of a buff. Oh, that's 120? It used to be like 60, I think. Ooh.
まあ、詩人はそんなところですね。はい。
Not that I ever saw use anyway.
コメントでも変えるとこあんまねえだろうって言われてる貴公子なんですが、はい、貴公子に行きたいと思います。
And then next up is I'm seeing comments that well, the machinist there's really not much you can change with the machinist, but we'll talk about the machinist anyway.
まあ一つ目機械をモチーフにした新アクション回転のこぎりが追加されてます。強そう。
So the first one, a new mechanically themed action called Chainsaw will be added.
Someone's been playing
で、あ
Gears.
とはですね、動画にもありましたオートマトンクイーンに
Chainsaw Man
新しい攻撃アクションが追加されてます。
And then this was featured in the video as well, but a new action will be added for the automaton queen.
Yeah, we saw that.
そうですね、他だと整備が、2チャージのアクションになってます。
And then in other changes, reassemble is now going to be chargeable up to 2 charges.
Ooh, 2 charge reassemble. Let's
溢
go.
れないように適時使っていただく必要が出てきます。
Drill gets one, and
And of course,
Erringer.
with this ability being charged, you don't want to waste once it's charged up. So please make sure that you are kind of strategically placing it and allowing to build up as needed.
あとは本当主に新技追加で、まあ、少ないホットバーで快適っていうところは、変わらない形にしてあります。
And then the rest of the adjustments are primarily just new actions being added. We have not changed the concept of trying to keep the number of abilities that are assigned to your hotbar and still play comfortably.
はい、貴公子も以上となっております。はい。
So that's it for the machinists.
続いて踊り子
Yeah,
ですが
not a lot of changes, but some damn good ones.
Next up is the dancer.
ウェポンスキルで、付与されるリバースカスケード自己化とかのバフがですね、単体と範囲で共有化されるようになります。
Weapon skill effects such as Flourishing Cascade will now be shared across single target and AoE skills.
他にはですね、どうぞ。まあ、この辺のテクニカルフィニッシュ、インプロとかですね、攻めの単語からさらに発生するアクションというのが今回追加されています。
And then new actions will be available upon the execution of technical finish, improvisation, and devilment.
踊り子はバファーのね、要素が強い DPS として、まあ、そのまま進化してます。はい。
So of course with the dancer, it does allow for different buffs to be applied, or they allow for applying different buffs to your party members, and so we've kind of kept that direction with the update here.
まあ、単体とさっきお話したように、ね、単体と範囲で面倒だったプロックの、管理を統一してあります。
And then, as mentioned earlier, the different pucks that are applied sometimes, and it was rather a hassle because you had to differentiate between like single target versus AoE, and some of the pucks that had to be managed between those was made or is going to be made simpler.
でですね、快適性をね、今回向上させるために、まあ、単体アクションのみ、ダンスのステップアクションにこう切り替わってたんですけど、ダンスモードに入ると、今回範囲攻撃も同様に、ステップアクションに置き換わるようになっているので、ホットバーを切り替えね、範囲と、単体で分けてた人は範囲側でもそれができるようになるので、かなり楽になるんじゃないかなと思います。はい。
And so, because we tried to make things a bit more smoother in terms of like executing your different rotations, previously, whenever you were doing a single target attack and your hotbar switched to the different step actions, and you'd have to switch over because AoE does not have that kind of simplicity. We actually updated it so that you don't have to worry about it with the AoE attacks. It's in a similar system where it'll switch into that sort of dance step action mode where the buttons will be replaced by the necessary next steps. I think before, if you had sort of had to manage like 2 separate hotbars for single targets versus AoE attacks, I think it makes things a lot more simpler. Yeah.
で、あとはですね、ダンスを成功させると付
That
与さ
doesn't
れる
make any
エス
sense.
プリ
Every class
っていう
has
のがあ
to
るん
do
ですけ
that.
ど、
Hello.
まあ、踊り子本人だ
Well,
け
have you played Dancer at all?
確率蓄積じゃなくて
This Dancer has like
確定で
8 different abilities that are sometimes part of the rotation and sometimes not. So it's really weird.
Yeah,
Of course,
that's
there's
a.
the spirit,
I kind of like
which
that
is
change.
applied sometimes
There's also part of
when
the
a dance is successful.
the ability of dancers to
and
be
it's
like,
applied,
yo, this one, then this one, and then
sometimes it's applied
I want to
to,
say that for
yourself,
buffets.
at
It's weird.
random, but we've changed it just for the dancer themselves. It's going to a spirit is going to build. It'll be guaranteed to build.
Oh, that's actually clutch.
と大体俺とそんな感じです。はい。
Okay, so that's it for dancer.
まあ詩人が本人に影響がないってやつはね、まだギリまで調整してるんで、今はちょっと明言を避けさせてほしいです。はい。
People
Oh.
were talking about with the bard, doesn't seem to take any sort of effects on the self. I'm afraid we are still making adjustments still, so I can't
Oh,
confirm nor deny on that point.
I don't like the sound of that.
はい。コメントでごねればいけるかって書いてますけど、ごねっても無理だと思います。
そういう問題じゃない
僕ら別にそういうので調整してるわけじゃないんで。
Some people are commenting that, oh, maybe we can negotiate by commenting on here. I think it's a little too late for that. That's not.
We don't want an apology, Yoshi. We want answers. Why don't we get our own buffs?
I'm sorry.
違うんですよ。なんかコメントでね、詩人だ
Let
け
me
なん
have
で
battle
って言われるん
voice.
ですけど
That's all I want.
そこの軽く上げると全体を落とさなきゃいけなくなっちゃうので、別に全体バランスから知ってるんですよね。踊り子もね、本体
just
軽くもっ
realized
と低くなっているわけで。
In the job action trailer, the black mage
はい
never casts a no like uses a Nokian.
And I do see
Oh.
that people are commenting.
would be
like, "Oh,
correct.
why is it just barred? Why? It's not fair." But I mean, this affects the damage that is being
No, he's
dealt,
not
and
afraid.
we do need to look at it from a
Dude, fuck
balanced
yeah.
perspective. We also made adjustments to the dancer too, where some of the damage has been sort of adjusted as well. So please understand.
はい。では次いきますよ。
I don't want to understand. I just want my abilities.
Moving forward.
遠隔
Dude, the summer one looks cool.
はいですね。
Did you sneeze?
こちら、通行はですね、シンプルにアドルの
You
話
brought
で
balance to all the magic and
さっ
physical
き
damage.
牽制に、
Oh, never mind.
魔法ダメージ軽減の効果を少しつけますよと言ったのと、
Still
今逆でアドルには
Yeah.
物理ダメージ
Just the opposite of
の
feint.
効果を少しだけ入れることをしました。
So with magical ranged DPS,
Well, good.
Of course there is the major.
Oh, I'm
change would
glad
be
because now I don't have to
add-on.
guess. Is that a magic attack? I
That
don't
is
know. I'll just
similar
throw it
to
on
what
there
we've
maybe.
done with Feint, where it adds just
No,
a little
it'll be
bit
good for
of
everything.
magic damage mitigation or reduction. With Addle, it'll allow for just a little bit, but some reduction of damage in physical attack.
さあ、では各ジョブの話に移っていこうと思います。はい。まず黒魔導士です。
What magic will be
So
more put-
going into the individual jobs, first is the Black Mage.
まず一番でかい変更点がですね、エノキアンが特性に変わりました。アストラルファイヤ
Oh, there you
ー
go.
かアンブラルブリザード中が
Oh
付与されれば
my.
自動的にエノキアン
Let's
が発生するようになります
Is that good? Like, really good?
So I think
Yeah.
one of the most
I don't have to worry about
major
losing
changes
Nokian.
is that
which
Nokian
sucks.
will be a trait.
That means there's gonna be no more twirl.
While under the effect of astral fire or
I know it is
umbral
really
ice.
cool.
ここは
It
ち
is
ょっと
really
悩
cool.
まなかったわけではないんですけど
You also got a lot of cool new animations anyway.
さらに生んでたり、
Dropping a little sun on people.
なんだろう、プレイヤーの間のこう火力差を結構生んじゃってたので、ここはそうすることにしました。はい。
And this was actually a very hard decision, or like it did require a lot of thinking, because while it was
You did it with Blood of the Dragon.
It was causing a disparity with the player's skill. So we decided that we were going to make the update.
Damn.
特定の状況で続いてですけど、アストラルファイヤーとアンブラル
Well,
ブリザー
no,
ド
it is a 10%
まあ
damage
さらに
loss, like straight
特定
up
の
if
条
you
件
drop it.
がある
Yeah, yeah,
中でアストラルファイヤーとアンブラルブリザードを
They're just
使
saying
える
there's so
と
many bad
活
black
動できる
mages, they needed to make it a trait.
炎と
Black
Black mages
Black
are the highest skill
Mages
ceilings, yeah.
Okay.
And
It
under
is!
certain
Okay.
conditions, swapping between astral, fire, and umbral ice
How do you do
will
this
make
thing?
new actions
No.
available. One of
Oh, I'm
which
not
is
saying part is
really
high skills.
cool looking. It looks like a combination of fire and ice kind of a spell.
まあ黒魔同士はやっぱり侍同様にピュア DPS としてまあ戦闘進化してます。蘇生も持ってません。はい。はい。
And with the black mage, of course, kind of like the samurai, we wanted to kind of evolve it as a pure DPS. Of course, no raise capabilities.
でやっぱりさっきお話ししたようにね、
Which
初心者の
would not
方
make
に
any
も
sense of black mage anyway.
格差がちょっとね広がりやすかったので。
Infinite mana and raises. Yeah, sure.
Oh, I stepped out.
And of
Oh,
course,
God damn it.
going back to Enochian, it was quite hard to grasp for certain players, especially those who are unfamiliar with the different the black mage actions. And it did cause a disparity between the damage dealt. So we have decided to change Enochian to be a trait.
他にはですね、ファイガプロックとかサンダープロックの継続時間、プロックの継続している時間ですね。を伸ばしてあるので、まあ、ちょっと折り返しでやらなきゃいけないこと今回増えてるので、その分サンダープロックの継続時間を伸ばしたりしてます。結構この辺小手先のテクニックが効くようになってるので、お試しください。
And then the prompt that is applied whenever for Fire 3 or I'm sorry, Fire 4? Sorry, Faiga is Fire 4, sorry. And Thunder.
No, it'll be Fire 3.
And the proc that
Fire
is
4
applied
doesn't-
whenever those are in effect.
Wish it were
has
just
been
fire and
extended,
fire and
because,
Firaga.
It helps
Yeah.
with
Which
I
would be
do.
so much better.
the rotations.
It
And
would.
there are more things that you need to be doing in your different
I'm gonna sound dumb.
skill sets and going
Yes,
back and
Inky, it's from
forth.
Kingdom Hearts.
Some of the repeating
That's
what you're
things that
thinking.
need to be done,
AKA
have kind of
Final
increased.
Fantasy.
So I think it helps
Yes.
with
Well, except in the West.
on a bit longer so that
Kingdom
there's
Hearts is
room
Final
to
Fantasy. Oh my god.
make use of
No, it's not. Final Fantasy has never had. They always use the fire 1, 2, 3. Like, that was how they.
Final Fantasy has had fire.
Yeah.
Fire
Final
Jar.
Fantasy VIII, Firaga.
Yep.
Final
That's
Fantasy
when they
12.
started using it only
And then,
in Final Fantasies.
Fire
From
2
Final-
and
I don't know about. I don't remember 1 through
Blizzard
7.
2
7 did Fire 1, Fire
is
2, Fire
going
3,
to
but I know in
have,
8
like
onward
a
it was
one
Fire,
step prior to
Firaga.
that, so
One.
that your
Okay, well.
My introduction to the Final
AoE
Fantasy series
rotation will
was Kingdom
change.
Hearts. And then I went
Ow.
immediately into 14, played a little bit of 15, never finished, and I have
日本語名だとね、英語とかはね、
I have
4
10 and
5
10
とか
too, and I have the remake to 7, but I never played any of those. A little bit of 15.
I want to play the 7 remake. I haven't played it yet. 7 is by far my favorite story-wise.
Wait till you get a
You gotta
PS5.
understand, with
7
the
remake's pretty
Japanese
good.
games, and you may be
Well,
familiar
here's the
with
thing with
this,
that. I'm
like
never
Fight,
going to get
turns
one.
into Fight,
I know.
Fight,
That's
Fight,
I know.
Fight,
Welcome to my
Fight,
life where I'm
and then
pissed.
I'm
because,
waiting
like,
for it to come to
There's a
PC.
there's a chunk of it
different,
missing because
suffixes
it's
that we
only on
put in the
PS5.
Japanese language, and once you get to a certain
pisses me
point,
off.
you have to start making up some of these suffixes, and we had to bring it up to the Final Fantasy brand committee and make sure that they're kosher with it, and we had to like debate about this.
だって魔法の系統を増やすってだって FF の歴史上結構重要なわけ
Final
ですよ
Fantasy
で
big.
結果、現委員長の北さんが、そこまで行くの14ぐらいだからもうロシアさんが思い切って作っていいよって言われてマジか、
And you know, because the franchise is very, we have a long running history, and having that sort of additional tiers to these magic spells is actually a big deal because it's kind of breaking history. But the current sort of brand executive, Mr. Kitase, was very kind to say, well, the only people who go a higher tier beyond what was already established is 14. So, Mr. Yoshida, I will trust it. I will trust your judgment.
Hello, Donald, using Zeta Flare.
Nice suffix.
Yeah, right.
そう言われた私、
はい。
Absolutely offended.
日和まして。
そうでしょ。
Only Disney can do it.
今回、ファイラの上位はハイファイラ。
わー、ひよったー。
But that
Hi,
that
Fyra.
made me scared on it just freaked me out at the on the flip side. So I went with Hi Fyra. And
まあいずれ
Oh, it's high fire,
ど
bro.
っかで踏んでなきゃいけないですけど、今回じゃなくていいやと思って、
あ
はい、ちょっと寄りました。はい。
It's like a high potion, but with fire.
I mean, one of these days, yes, we will eventually have to expand further out.
What's my
our
mega
tiers,
fire,
and we
then?
will have to come up with a nice
Or
sort of
a giant
suffix to
high
add on there. But this time,
That's what
I kind of chickened out.
High five.
みんなね、見損なったぞ吉田とかね、そのひよってんなとか結構コメントあるんですよ。いいっすか？でも僕がね、仮にですよ、このためにファイ行ってしたとしますよ。
うん。
そしたら KR 行とかですからね、今後全部。
そうね。それは困る。
いいんですね、それで。行
And I
は。
see comments on the Japanese side.
just got
Oh, you
access to
chickened
that
out,
board.
Yoshida.
Let's go.
But let me, to be
By the
fair,
way,
like if
can I
we
say I
add,
really
like,
like
say,
her
a
sweater and I
Gyo
want
suffix
one.
and like it's by Gyo. Anything that's like a tier 4
It has
or
the Final
tier
Fantasy
5
emblem, I
magic
think,
is
with-
going to be like
I'm not
like
sure what's
pure
in the middle.
Gyo. You
Awkward.
know?
That has to be the
14.
greatest machinist change I've seen.
まあ今回はちょっと、私いろいろ
It's just 14,
I
though.
考えました。
I don't remember
そこに
when you said that.
Oh, just said just a minute
Oh,
ago.
a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
After
Okay.
much thought, we
I just
decided
seen it.
to settle on that.
あとは
He
まあ
did Godzilla, he
と
did.
まあちょっと話を黒魔同士に戻すと、激星魔が2スタックのチャージアクションになって、で30秒でチャージする。
Alright, what did we
これ
do?
も結構腕に差が出てくるかな、使いどころって感じですね。はい。
The fucking music is making me want to fall asleep.
And I'm sorry, there's another charge
gonna sleep.
action
I need
for
to
Black
probably go to
Mage
bed soon.
that has
Oh.
been added. Another charge has been added to that stack.
ゴレンマは一応言ってみたんだけど、却下されました。
Yeah, a
And
little
then there
rainbow
was,
candy. I like it.
comments about well, what about an additional like a multiple casts, like a five consecutive casts, and I proposed the idea, but it was rejected.
Might as well call Black Mage a battery mage at this point with how many charges it has.
面白さが一番面白いところだと思ってるので、そこはそのまま残した感じです。
I'll take a quintuple cast. I'm cool with it.
But with sorry, going back to what Yoshida-san said about
They're taking
Gekisima,
their
that's
time on
Sharp
this
Cast.
class.
Sorry,
Oh.
Sharp Cast has an
You were pointing
additional
out
charge.
Black Mage has gotten more time at all physical
But in any
ranged.
case, with Black Mage, it is trying to match your different spells according
is,
to the timeline of the battle. So
his main
that
class.
challenge still remains, and I think
Yoshi
it
P is
still,
Black Mage.
Sort of lives up to that.
さあ、では続いてのジョブ、赤魔同士に行こうかなと思います。はい。
Yeah,
Hey,
but
is
not
the
having Enochian looming over my head is gonna be
赤魔同士はですね、
a breath of fresh air.
まず1個目、コーチから派生する新アクション、この動画で見ていただいて。
Ooh.
はい。
First one is a new action will be available upon execution of Scorch. I think you've noticed that in the video.
であとですね、
Yeah, it was the like crazy line.
ダルフレア、ダルフォーリー、スコーチを範囲攻撃に変更してあります。なので、範囲ローテーションからも発動できるという感じになってます。はい、
Oh, weird.
And then the second point is Ver Flare, Ver Holy, and Scorch will be changed to AoEs.
How's that up?
Available as part of AoE rotation.
When they do this, when they change something from a single target to an AoE, is
No.
this messing up like?
No. You're misunderstanding.
No,
The abilities Verflare, Verholy, and Scorch will become different abilities on the hotbar when they do an AoE rotation.
割とね、サポート側に
That's what we're saying.
イメージがシフトしてる感じです。
I don't know if I like that.
And then the
We're
third point
holding
is a
Refer and
defensive
Scorch were, like,
party-wide enhancement
special.
will be added.
But you're not going to use those abilities when using an AoE rotation.
So you can also
You can only
help
use it
out in a
after your
support
melee
sort of
rotation anyway.
way.
その名もバマジック。
バマジック。
バマジック。
Well, yeah, and the current AoE rotation is boring as fuck. It's
Wait,
two-
sorry,
two skills.
I'm still not understanding. So they aren't moving from single target to AOE's. It's
They are-
that they are only activated from an AOE.
No. So
rotation?
Verflare, Verholding, and Scorch are all abilities on your hotbar. But when you execute your AoE rotation now, they're going to change to different abilities to become AoE abilities, and then once you use them,
Oh.
they'll switch back.
Oh, I see. So it's actually they have two functions depending on which side you're using them on.
Pretty much. There's a lot of jobs that have that where an ability will change what you're doing. So,
Oh, that's cool.
that's all it is, yeah.
ですね、赤魔同士細かくいろいろ調整されてます。新魔法の追加はもちろんなんですけど、大きいのはですね、ウェポンスキルである魔法剣各種、ブラックマナ、ホワイトマナの消費量が減ってます、今回。
So with the Red Mage, there are a lot of granular changes that have updates that have been made. Of course, we have added new spells, but we have also adjusted the weapon skills and the different sort of the magic sword, the black mana and the white mana depletion amount has been reduced.
で、マナフィケーションを使ったら、もうそのマナフィケーション1回分で、フルコンボまでいけるようになってるので、開幕のバーストはかなり早くなりました。はい。
And then with manification, you are able to do like one combo with it. So the burst that you can have at the start of a battle definitely is quicker.
ただまあそのままだと魔法剣の回数が上がりすぎて、それはそれでキャスターっぽくなくなっちゃうので、各、魔法を使った時のホワイトマナとブラックマナの増加量っていうのを下げることによって、
Yeah, 'cause you'll be able to burst with
全体の頻度は変わらないようにしてます。
But that being said, if it's done as is, of course, the spell blade frequency becomes a lot. So we made it so that we adjusted the white mana and the black mana, like the increase of those two different manas.
All right, I'm gonna retire for a bit.
で、なのでまあ魔法剣の頻度が上がりすぎるっていうことはまあもちろんない。ただマナフィケーション使うと一気に増えるし、まあ溢れさせることもないと思うので、こんな感じです。はい。
So hopefully this doesn't make it so that the spell blade frequency goes like way too much. But still with the manification, we do have the mana kind of filling up, and you should hopefully not waste the mana that is accumulated.
でですね、ステージによってまあ使いづらいというのと、まあ、フィードバックも多数あったので、ようやくかって言われるとは思ってるんですけど、でプラスマンとアンガジマンの威力が同じになったので、移動に必要かそうじゃないかで使い分けてください。なるほど。はい。
And then, of course, there was quite a lot of feedback about this and mention about how it's difficult to use at times. So the placement as well as engagement. The potency of these two will become the same.
他にはエンボルデンのリキャは、120秒で、マナフィケーション110秒っていう感じ。まあそこはエンボルデン変えてないですね。はい。
Then Embolden recast timer is 120 seconds, and then manification is 110. So Embolden should not have been changed.
いや、コメントでね。
Wait, what? 110?
プラス芸人はじゃあどうしたらいいんだよって、そんなの あれですよ、アンガジェマンのアクション入れなきゃいいんですよ。デプラスにこだわりがあるなら。
The people who are complaining about like what displacement and engagement and swapping between and choosing the proper one. Well, if you are particular about displacement, just use displacement then.
はい。赤魔同士こんな感じでございます。
So that covers the red mage.
さあ、そして、ほぼ新ジョブになった召喚師をご紹介します。
はい。
The next up is, I think it's changed to basically a new job, and that is our summoner.
もうほぼ新ジョブだとすいません思っていただければと思います。
Yeah, it was definitely
Again,
a
yeah,
rework.
if you could
Oh,
look
absolutely.
at this from a completely new perspective, it's changed quite a lot. So I think you can consider this a new job almost.
まずはというわけでジョブのメカニクスを大幅にリニューアルしております。
Of course. So that being said, significant changes to job mechanics has been made.
さらにですね、ドットが全部なくなりました。
And then
Oh.
all actions applying damage over time will be removed.
Summoner just lost half their identity and regained a new one.
Half of it? You mean all of it?
I just mean dots were half their identity and the other half was just summoning things, and summoning just kind of got boosted.
I completely missed what was said.
No dots.
Since A Realm Reborn, a lot of people were saying this is not a summoner, it's just a dot.
All dots are removed from summoner.
And so we've removed it.
Well, it's a completely new. It's been completely changed. It's no longer the summoner you knew.
They took away Shadow Flare, now they take away dots?
Next is able to summon
I wonder if-
Garuda and Titan, and not just Eggies.
But
ただこれですね、イフリート・ルビー、タイタン・トパーズ、ガルーダ・エメラルド。
I wonder if there'll be
バンシン読んじゃいけないからね、そんな気軽に。
Eggies till you get like level 80 stuff maybe? Will they just start off like that?
みたいな。
なるほど、なるほど。
bet there'll be Eggies.
But that being said,
And
these
then they
are
just change or
Ifrit
something?
Ruby, Titan,
Well, yeah, you'll probably have to
Topaz,
get a point
and
to
Garuda
access it.
Emerald. So
You're not
we're
gonna do it at level,
really
like,
calling
you know,
forth
30.
these primals,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah, it'd
because
be
it's too
weird.
dangerous in the world of 14 to be summoning primals. So the concept is
level 5
we
with a
are
Garuda
sort of
before you've even met her.
transferring their energy, so to speak, into these different sort of jewels, so to speak, and sort of
Cool, they
calling
remind me of like Fire
those
and Ice from
forth.
Black Mage, but now you have like 3 of those different kinds of phases.
その、3番神を呼ぶと、本人、召喚師本人にエーテル属性が付与されるので、その力で召喚師自体のモードが変わるようなイメージになってます。
なるほど。
By summoning these different sort of summons, the summoner, him or herself, will gain the sort of elemental ether and sort of switch into different modes.
I'm most excited to see this in the patch notes and read how it plays.
まずやっぱり召喚師っていうイメージに沿うように今回本当に大幅に変更させていただきました。
はい。
So with this
Yeah,
update,
definitely
we
worth,
really
trying
tried
it out.
to bring out that sort of feel of a traditional summoner.
で、流れなんですけど、まあデミバハムートを召喚すると、まあ今まではデミバハムート召喚、フェニックス召喚、なんかこうダウンタイム、なんかもうひたすらルイ打つしかねえみたいな、レンジャーみたいな状態だったのが、大きく変わります。
So in terms of the rotation or the flow of the summoner, of course, up until now, you would have called forth the Demi Bahamut, and then it goes away, and then you call forth the Phoenix, and then you have some downtime where you're just casting Ruin or Ruin 3, or like just doing that until you've accumulated enough to summon them again.
で、デミバハムートまず読むと、
Kaz!
属性エーテルを3つ
I don't have alerts set up on this one.
そ
Hang on.
の力を属性エーテルを使ってさっき言ったイフリート、
Alert
ルビ
box,
ー、タイタントパス、ガルーダ、エメラルドを召喚してその属性の力でまず戦います。
And so with this updated flow, of course, you will call forth the Demi Bahamut, and then you will obtain this
All right,
elemental
Kaz, have a good lunch.
property, so to speak.
Thank you for the
and then
raid.
You will be able to summon Ifrit Ruby, Titan Topaz, Garuda Emerald, and then you would fight using the elemental properties of those different summons.
で、その後フェニックスを召喚すると、フェニックスからもまたエーテ
Oh,
ル
so
を
it's
もらえるん
Bahamut
で
that gives you the
また
that-
3種を
okay.
使ってというのが
なるほどなるほど。
一連の流れになります。
And once you've depleted those three, and then you would call forth the Phoenix, then you would receive again 3 elemental properties, and then you are able to summon these 3. I don't want to call them primals, but they're the summons that you can utilize those 3 elemental properties again.
で、イフリート、タイタン、ガルーダってどの順番で呼んでもいいです。でそれぞれ召喚しに付与される特徴が違うので、ボスのタイムラインに合わせて先にこれはタイタンから行こうとか、今回はイフリートにしようとかっていうのを考える余地としての入ってます。
なるほど。
And of course, we have these 3 Ifrit, Titan, and Garuda, but there's no specific order that you need to call them forth. So, depending on the battle timeline, you can choose. Let's say you want to do Titan first, you can do that.
Somebody will figure out a good
or,
rotation.
Yeah, you can quickly, or you can be flexible between those 3.
で、置き換えアクションを駆使した結果、使用アイコン数は激減しました。
Yeah,
and
it
then
depends
also
on
part of the
what
adjustment
their
was to kind of
skills
consolidate
do.
some of these actions, and so the icons that are being used in your hotbar will be quite significantly condensed because these will switch out depending on the different actions that you're taking.
So what I'm hearing is you're gonna have 20-minute openers, but different 20-minute openers depending on which fight you're doing.
And then so after a lot of debate and a lot of discussion, we did decide that we will keep Resurrection.
They debated taking away Resurrection.
Right? What? That was a weird choice.
申し訳ないなと思ったんで、今回は首の皮一枚で取りました。はい。
And with this significant change to Summoner, and people are being, I don't know if people would be shocked with the changes, but like on top of that, having Resurrection being removed, people might really get upset. So it lived by the skin of its teeth. Resurrection is still there.
I honestly would have been way okay with you guys getting rid of it.
Physic too.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
it really
kinda
matters.
stayed
You,
behind
you
too.
have Red Mage for it.
さあじゃあもうわからんというお声が多いので、実機に行こうかな。
They should just reduce the cast time on Resurrect
And
on
I'm
the
sure
healers.
people
You
are
know?
wondering, well, I don't understand with all these words. So let's look at it on the gameplay screen.
よろしいですか。
どうぞ。
はい、お願いします。
Look at dog.
You know,
cool.
I know he wasn't really doing that, but it looked like he was looking at a book trying to figure out how to play the class.
サムいや。
でここでまず先にちょっとエイミラプリの話をしておいてもいい
Just
です
looks
か。
like little Jolly Ranchers, the little.
And before we dive into
Whoops from Drax Group was saying, like, Yoshi, those aren't gems, they're fucking fruit gummies.
Yeah.
ですね。
Yeah, you're freaking
今回、
Flintstones
呼べる
gummies.
召喚獣が増えるということで、
はい
すべての召喚獣に対してまずサイズの変更ができるようになってます。
That is a clean bar.
And so with the number
Oh,
of
yeah.
summons you can call,
Dude, Summoner is now just
we have
super
made some
simple,
adjustments,
but
which is to change its display
Awesome.
size.
it's just everything's gonna keep changing.
あくまで自分から見た時のなので、術者というよりは周りの人がやらなきゃいけないので。
There's no way that's all the abilities they have. It's just
But that
But what they're showing.
only affects you as the person like calling forth
Imagine if
these
you're
summons.
I mean, without all of their
So,
dots,
yeah, it only affects
They
how,
had, like,
you
3
are able to
dots,
view these.
right? 2 dots, 3 dots.
That's 15,
まあ今実は
16.
ここにカーバンクル出てるんですけど、
はい。
召喚士
Like
自身
maybe
の
16
レベルが上がっていく
abilities
とここ
total
がエフリートエギになっ
you're
たり
gonna
するんですけ
use.
ど、まあ
Only need
僕は
2
カーバンクルの方が可愛くて好きなので、これエギミラクルしてあります、カーバンクル。
あ、なるほど。
はい。
So of
My
course,
God.
with the
How do
right
you
now we
use-
see the
how do you use
carbuncle
that?
appearing on the screen, but
Right as fuck.
you may be familiar as the player character goes up, this Eggy would turn into like an Ifrit, but then right now I
Also,
like the look of
currently you can only use
Carbuncle.
5 abilities.
I have glamored it to a carbuncle.
With the mage ones.
まあ
Wait,
でもそんなもんですかね。
yeah. So the Aggies are still there.
good one? Good one gone?
Yeah, Inky, they've completely
Nice.
reworked. Like it's a brand new thing now.
I hate it.
We have summoned the Demi
で、こ
Bahamut.
こに
It's kind of better.
わかります？
Have you seen what they've done? Like, it looks really cool.
So
So
yeah,
it's
so
going.
you summon
はい、解放されました。で、
うん
こうなると、この
Bahamut,
3
and
つ
then
の
it gives you the ability to summon the
関心が呼
other
べるようになります。
three
どれから
crowns.
でもいいです。
It may be
Hmm.
cool and awesome
And then,
and
of course,
simpler
with that, you
stuff.
get the elemental properties.
That
I think you can see it.
It's
every
like
day.
taking
It
away
gives
my
you, like,
shadow
3
flame, but taking away
jewels,
the entire
kind of
class
chained
instead of-
up, and now those have been unlocked.
Because they
And
did.
so that shows that
did
take
you
away the
can
class.
summon,
Mm.
Ifrit,
They said they
Titan,
were
or
reworking
Garuda.
it.
で、呼び出
I
す
did
と、
not know
You knew
that.
this was
が付与
coming.
されて、
うん
カウントダウンが
I did
始まり
not
ます。
know that.
で、2スタックのアクション
they
が
announced
付与
it
されているの
forever
で、
I knew they were changing
Ifrit
Astro,
の
and
技を
I knew they
使い
were
ます。
changing Black Mage, and I knew they were changing, like,
So
Changing
once you
black.
call forth these elemental
oh, yeah,
primals,
so
you do
completely
get
black
that
Mage
sort
or
of
whatever,
ether
added stuff.
applied to you, and then you see that there's a
Right.
2-stack
I did the
action, and so
changing
you are
Astro
able to
and stuff.
execute
I did
Ifrit's
that
actions.
stuff. I did not know they were
こ
completely
れ、
reworking
今の
the
は、イフリートの
So you
レベル
get
をもらったので、
2 actions
AC 時
per.
間が長い代わりに強力な炎の魔法が2発。
Oh, because you're gonna go
あと
through all
突
three
進
of
と
them super
追
fast.
追撃っていう攻撃が
But what I'm wondering is it 2 and then at one point I saw there's 4 actions. So do you get 2 on the
And
first
so
one, then
we
4,
were
then
looking
6
at
maybe?
Ifrit's actions,
Oh,
but
maybe.
That depends
with
on
the elemental properties or
which
ether
rotation you want to do.
ether obtained from Ifrit. While
Hmm.
cast time is long, it is a very powerful fire-based spell that you can cast, and then there's also like a rush sort of attack that you can do. And
I
this
did
is,
notice the cast on
the-
their ability was a lot longer than the normal cast time.
で、ここはやっぱり栄唱が
Oh, maybe
必
that's the
要な
only.
アクションになってるので
If it only has 2
えー
actions
と
and they're
ギミッ
longer
ク処理を
cast
しなきゃい
times.
けないタイミングで、
Yeah.
イフリートを呼んで
Well, one was the
しまうと
dash, one was
ロ
the
スに
the
なるの
long
で
cast.
他のものに
Yeah, but I'm saying like maybe
他
Ifrit always has 2.
イフリートを使
Like
うようにしよ
under
うとかそのあたり
the
はうま
thing.
く
It's
考え
not
ていただ
depending
け
on
ればいい
which order you do it in. Like
Maybe. But even then,
Kind of
there's.
ties into what we mentioned about timelines, but with Ifrit's action, one of this requires for you to cast, and it's a fairly long cast time. So, say you're in some kind of fight where there's a mechanic where you have to move, then you would lose the opportunity to cast the magic. So,
Yes.
perhaps
Yeah,
you'd
knowing
want to
that, you'd
time
probably
it
use
so that
Garuda
you
instead.
You don't
Yeah.
need to move around to process some kind of mechanic.
Or use Titan and say,
you'd
"I
have
can take
to
this."
Be pretty mindful of when you activate these.
で実際に召喚をした瞬間インスタントで召喚するんですけど登場した時に利口技を一回バーンってぶっ放してはくれます、
And then, of course, when you are calling forth these summons, it's an instant, but there is usually like a starter move that it unleashes when it's first summoned.
でまあタイタンを呼びます
Okay, so now we're calling forth.
Yeah, so Titan now is that a 4 in its up bar?
yeah, but it was a 4 in the job trailer too.
I said his size
But-
is
That's what I'm saying.
small,
Like
so-
they have a certain number of actions. that
Oh,
you-
you're saying each one has. I see.
Yeah, like Ifrit always only has the 2, but
I
they're
see.
longer cast times.
I see what you mean.
Take a look at what we can
そう
do.
です
Yeah, all of Ifrits are instant.
Smashing from two sides.
でこれは
You mean all of
回数じゃない
Titans?
Yeah, Titans, my bad, yeah.
What's interesting too with Ifrit was she casted that long one more than twice and still used the dive. So
It's
what
actually interesting
consumes
because
a
it's,
stack?
Within a timed section that you can unleash unlimited numbers of times of his moves, and it's all instant. So you can move around and cast at the same time.
Time section. So 4 seconds.
でガルーダを
Only
呼
a
ぶと
I guess.
She said it's in a time
But-
section. You can unleash.
No, but you see the number next to Garuda, like, because Garuda still had
Yeah,
stacks
that's
underneath.
seconds. That's seconds.
Yeah, I get that, but there was a number underneath it as well.
I know, but she literally just said it's within a time section that you can unleash an unlimited number of Ifrit's instant cast.
Titan.
But with Garuda,
Yeah, so it
hers
was
is
4
more of
seconds.
like a placement damage, and this is also instant, and so you can move around as well. I think Summoner does have like a good bit of mobility.
でフェニックスを召喚するとまた3つ付与されるのでフェニックスが終わったら
Phoenix has a heal. Interesting. I mean, it
And
makes
then once
sense.
you've gone through that round, and then
He's got a
you
regen
call
going,
forth the
actually.
Phoenix, you will
Yeah, he healed
obtain
himself a
these
massive
3
amount and gave himself a
elemental
regen.
properties again, and so you can
It's fitting for
utilize
Phoenix.
these
Yeah.
elemental primals.
Also, Yoshi's P's hotbar is a
ちなみに
mess.
この3つの、
The HUD
モードは、やっぱりそのタイムライン内で3つともそうは言っても使わないと軽く出ないので、
Although it's not final, so just trying to hide it.
いいやみたいなのやると目も当てられないことになるので、
なるほど。
でデミバハムート召喚とフェニックス召喚の間にやっぱちゃんと使い切らないともったいないことになっちゃうでしょ、リキャストタイムが。なのでそこは必ず組み立てが必要になってくるので、
なるほど。
はい。
With these 3 summons that you can do, of course, you need to utilize these in the battle timeline, or else, of course, you won't be dealing very much damage at all. Like, you can't just lean towards, oh, I like using Titan only, so I'll use Titan only, or you will not
Right, you gotta use all
be
3.
able to deal much damage at all. So whenever you do cast your Demi Bahamut and the Phoenix, and the elemental properties that you attain in between those is something that you don't want to put to waste. Make sure
Yeah, you're really
that
just a
you are
Pokemon trainer,
utilizing
just
these
yeeting
and sort of
Pokemon like
building your
crazy.
strategy so that you can utilize those 3 within the recast.
はい。大体そんな感じでございます。かなり試行錯誤して作ったので、いいところにね落ちたのではないかなとは思っておりますが、当然そのドットがなくなった分はね、通常の栄翔火力へ全部持ってってるんで、まあちょっと機動力高いからなって思ったんですけどね、機動力の高さも売りだからな、もともとそこはちょっとやっぱりもともとね召喚が好きで使ってくれてた人ってたくさんいると思うんで、ここまで変えちゃうのはなとか、考えつつ。
Oh yeah, we still have healers,
ね
Jesus.
結構栄翔増えるとさ、吉田黒の巻き添えにしやがってって言われたくもあんまないしね。
The the casters took so long to
Yeah,
get
with
through.
the summoner, there was a lot of trial and error and a lot of debates to get it to where we got it. But I think we were able to get it to a good point. Of course, with the removal of all the dots, we did try to skew back to having the summoner have their damage kind of come from the different casting of the not the spells, but like the different summons that you're bringing forth. So
I like it.
and we also looked at just how mobile the summoner is, but at the same time, it is the
That
charm
way,
of
you don't feel
summoner
like a
is
caster,
the
you feel like a
mobility of it.
summoner.
So,
Like, yeah, I get it.
We
Yeah.
were, and there were people who were
I like feeling like
choosing the summoner because of such
Then
mobility.
play Black Mage.
Yeah.
Play caster.
So that was another point where we had to rack our brains, but we didn't want to make it so that
They did a really good job of
casting
making all
all the
3
time.
casters feel unique.
I can already imagine the
Yeah.
comments.
You're all
from
casting
players
spells, but
saying,
you're all
"Oh,
casting
no,
spells
it's
differently."
You're kind of dragging us into this.
Summer doesn't feel just like a
So, one of the
ranged archer
まあ
spells.
では 以上でキャスターでした。
はい、ありがとうございます。
では最後ヒーラーロールのお話いきましょう。
Next up is the healers.
Oh, the sage icon looks cool. Wow.
まずヒーラー共通項なんですけど、各ヒーラーに新しい
Oh, I like the fairy look.
の付与アクションを追加しております。反対バフですね、これ。
Single target
So
buffs will be
the
added.
first thing is new actions that apply single target buffs will be added to each healer,
Hmm?
and emphasis on single target buffs.
でそれからですね、全体的にヒーラーの攻撃魔法の詠唱時間が短くなっております。
Everyone's
And
gonna be
then,
on the
overall,
Astro.
we did reduce the cast time for offensive spells.
そしてですね、全ヒーラー待ってた。
Even more glaring
リミ
on
ットブレイク
OP.
の効果範囲がですね、50メートルに拡大され
Oh,
まして
I'll be effective.
And then limit break area of effect will be expanded to 50 yalms. And I
Wait, what is it originally?
I think it's like 30.
Yeah, it's huge
It
now.
won't hit the entire battlefield. We're now.
Considering the fact that for a tank to hit a boss from the starting area is like 20 yalms, but now it's 50 is ridiculous.
Well, it'll definitely help even more in.
Oh yeah, like
alliance raids.
it absolutely should just be your whole party, so it's fine.
今回その以前からお伝えしていたように、ヒーラーロールに関しては賢者を加えた4ジョブでピュアヒーラーに、バリアヒーラーにという、バランスになります。
But also with the healers welcoming the new sage job, we will be splitting it up with 2 jobs being a pure healer and then 2 jobs being barrier healers.
基本攻撃魔法の詠唱時間は軒並み 1.5 秒に
Wondering how viable it's going to be to have 2 shield or 2 heal.
For the offensive spells, like the
They'll
primary
definitely be messed
offensive
with, for
spells,
sure.
They're in general going to be a 1.5
The shields
cast
don't
time,
overlap, it'll be
which is pretty
fine.
quick.
まあアビリティがねかなり増えてきて、アビリティを使う機会が多いので、まあグローバルクールダウンにどうしても食い込んじゃってすごい気持ち悪いストレスっていうところがあったと思うので、そこを軽減するために詠唱時間を短くしてあります。
With needing to execute abilities, it tended to, or like casting tended to sort of eat into the global cooldown time, and I'm sure people were very frustrated, or would have been very frustrated with it. So we're hoping that by sort of reducing the cast time for basic attack spells to 1.5 seconds, that would reduce the frustration and stress.
それでは白魔導士からいきましょう。はい。
Jumping right into White Mage.
白魔導士はですね、もう正当進化オブ正当進化以外の何者でもございません。効果も見た目も特徴的な、リリーを設置するという設置型の回復アクション、これ非常に便利で強力ですが追加されております。
So with the White Mage, this is just a simple update, as simple can be. Let's see, it reads a functionally and visually distinct restorative field action will be added.
ピュアヒーラーに該当します。はい。
If you could elaborate more, we'd appreciate that.
That would be very nice.
You kind of didn't tell us anything other than what we already saw.
氷蛇だったかなが入るんで。
I assume there's more water involved.
なるほど。
Yeah. More aqua.
And then a higher tier for the holy spell will be added, and so
Oh, are
that
we getting
will also
holier?
contribute to the accumulation of
Yeah, I was that
healers.
holy with the lily in it.
High holy, is that what we're getting?
Yeah, basically.
アクアオーラさんがついに解雇されてしまいました。
It's time to blind everyone again.
And then one unfortunate news with the White Mage is that Fluid Aura has been relieved of its duties.
Did she say unfortunate or fortunate?
あとはですね、ディバインベリゾンがチャージアクションに
No one uses it
なってます
anymore.
ね。はい。
I don't even have it on my
And another update would be Divine Benison will become a charge action.
白魔導士に関してはもう本当に今までの操
Wait, what was that about charge action?
すんなり扱えるアップデートになってると思います。
Divine Benison.
But yeah, with the White Mage, it's pretty straightforward. I think the controls will feel as it was, and it'll be a fairly smooth transition with these
Should
updates.
throw away ability.
はい。では先へ進みます。続いては先生術師です。
Wait, if they
Moving
make
on
something
to
a charge
Astrologian.
action, does that mean that it gets more use or less use?
As in charges of it.
Technically,
So
it's just
with
that
the
you can.
Astrologian, we are going to
They'll
skew
charge
it
it
more
so you can
towards
have
a
a double
pure
one.
healer.
Like once its cooldown reset, it's like having multiple charges of something in Overwatch.
Yeah, but you'll be able to like kind of hold on to it.
Yeah, that's the main
Interesting.
point because.
Because I mean, like, I'm already casting it on cooldown anyway, so
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Diurnal sect and
You should
nocturnal
have
sect
paid
will be
attention
to that,
removed,
Astro.
and
it doesn't sound like
basically
it actually
those
does
will be
anything
adjusted
extra.
to have the same effects as they would have under diurnal sect.
That makes sense, yeah.
It's
what everyone kind of expected.
そのニュートラルセクトの効果中のみバリアアクションが使えたりっていうことが先生術師の特徴として、あったりします。
But that being said, there is going to be an action called neutral sect, which
Oh.
while you're
That's already
under
there,
its
I think.
effects,
That's
there
the
will be
limited.
some barrier
They're,
actions. that
they're
you can
basically saying that's gonna stay, and you'll get to use that temporarily.
で、あとはディビネーションの効果を変更してます。
And then we've adjusted the effects of divination.
Oh.
まあディビネーション
No more cards for the party, it's not for me.
バフが、カードの引き運にすげえ左右されるっていうのが、ストレスだったので、このあたり条件を見直しています。
The effects of it was really affected by the luck of the draw, so to speak. So it has been adjusted.
通常で使えるようになるって感じです。
That's how it started with. It started with
Basically speaking, you can use it in like normal circumstances.
で、その代わり、カードシンボルに依存する効果を持つセルフバフが付与されるようになるって感じです。なるほど。はい。
So while you can use it at any time, what will change is that depending on the seals used, it allows for enhancements to be applied to yourself.
okay. Okay, I see what they're saying. All right.
リドローはですね、チャージアクションじゃなくて、
You have these. You used to get seals for your divination. Now it's just a standard cooldown. But if you have seals before you use it, you give buffs to yourself and divination to everyone else.
Will no longer be a charge action, but it will be changed to an action where every time you draw, you can use it once. And then there will also be a change to minor arcana.
あとは動画にもありましたけど、回復と攻撃を結構兼ね備えた、範囲魔法が、追加されてます。
And then the other update would be, you may have seen it in the video, but there will be an AoE spell that kind of has a healing capabilities as well as an offensive element to it.
So, a size.
Yeah, you just basically get a size.
白馬のポーリーが強すぎだろうっていうところが結構言われていたので、今回、他のヒーラーにも範囲のID 攻略しやすい、ちょっとそれぞれが特徴違うんですけど、範囲を、持たせてます。
And this is kind of based on some input that we've noticed whenever people go into instanced dungeon. Holy that the white mage can use is quite strong, and so we wanted to allow for other healer jobs to have something similar. Of course, not their characteristics differ from each of the different jobs, but we did want to have some kind of AoE spell.
まあこう議論したんですよ、ここは。本当に全員にもういっそ
Gravity used to be pretty strong.
なるほど。
いやもう超無理からスタンをなくすかとか。いやだけど。
Yeah, but gravity doesn't stun people for like 10 seconds.
なんか全員スタンつけるもなんかもう大雑把すぎるし。なので、
I also think it was more
それぞれなんとか特徴を持たせて。 その
Did they
A little
change
bit.
holy to be non like
結構苦労
stun
した
isn't as effective or something like
それぞれ
that?
特徴が
No, they
違います
didn't.
はい
They left
So-
White
This
Mage
was
more or less
really
how it
quite
is.
a point of debate, actually.
They're just like white mage, perfect.
Do we
I
want
gotcha,
to add
bye.
stun to this, or do we want to remove
Oh,
the
wait.
stun effect from holy, or? But we don't want to like kill individual
It's really hard to mess
individuality
up white
either.
mage.
But if we add stun to all of them, then it just seems to be very sloppy. So we wanted to make sure that each job had its own sort of characteristic or
Oh
like
boy,
a
there's still gonna be holy spammers. I fucking
a
hate
signature
holy
like
spammers.
difference between them. So we're hoping that when players get to try it out, they would understand, oh yeah, this is the kind of nuance that you're going for.
はいじゃあ続いていきま
It's
しょ
gonna
う
be hard to beat a
続いては
stun,
学
so
者になります
Yeah.
whatever it gets has to be strong.
Scholar.
学者は
Well,
で
they
す
say
ね、
like
ここから
every
バリア
healer.
ヒーラー
Like,
に
I
な
don't
り
want to
ま
give
す
that to
が、
everyone, so
学
we'll
者
see
は
how they do
改
it.
めて
Yeah.
バリアヒーラーとして、
I guess maybe a
構成されて
slow
ます
effect would be nice. I would
Even
go
then,
with
Moving into the barrier
slow would be
healers now,
almost
but,
detrimental sometimes.
With the scholar,
All the
we
music
have
Oh,
sort
it's
of
slow. No,
made
no.
adjustments so that they are leaning more towards that sort of barrier type healer.
まあ学者もですね、なんかこう大幅に変えるところがあるかと言われると、まあ多少ねペットの挙動をまた調整したりはしましたけど、まあ学者で今回一番でかいのは
We're gonna hear the entire
戦
Endwalker
闘時の
soundtrack with this rate.
パーティー移動速度の上昇っていうバフが
Movement speed during combat? Oh, when they press W and they moved out the AoE, that's what that was.
With the scholar, there wasn't really much we could have changed like significantly.
For my butt that likes to
I
stand
mean, we
and
did make
everything,
adjustments.
that could be so useful.
And part of it was changing or updating the behaviors
Oh.
of the pet. But I think one of the
Wait,
most
so-
major changes
It's
to
Tonia's
the
song.
scholar would be a unique job action which can enhance the party's movement
Oh, I like this
speed
song.
even during
Rip
combat.
Scholar, man.
いやいや、
Yeah,
と
it's
当
a
然
Tanya
永
song.
続じゃないんだよ
Wait, so
Just like,
Scholar
yeah,
only
yeah,
has
gotcha,
a,
he's
a
sitting there.
combat
Sorry.
Alaton?
The buff is not continuous perpetually. if it's perpetual, then people are going to be like, no, must have scholar all the time.
そんなわけないじゃない。さっき動画でも最後ね、召喚じゃないや、学者チャチャチャってしてると思うんですけど、あれ速度アップしてるってこと言いたかったんです。
But you may have noticed in the video, like the scholar was running just a little faster towards the end of that job action, and that's to
noticed.
signify that enhancement has been applied.
まあいわゆるスプリントと同じ速度が一定時間使える。で
Yeah, it's
スプリントとは重複しません。
I
In
mean, there's
combat
like
Peloton.
there's so many changes I
So
would have made
it's
for Scholar.
basically like sprint, where you
And you're telling me the
your movement
biggest
speed
is their movement speed?
Faster.
I
They
for
could
understand.
have
some
give
amount of
them
time,
better
but it will not
heals 'cause
overlap
they deserve
with,
it.
Sprint.
The heals are so like
で、
dependent
他
on
だと
second
ですね、
class.
パーティーメンバー一人を対象とした結構ね、強力なバフが追加されてます。
Just my opinion as
Well,
a
it is getting
Another
update
update
pushed to
would
be a
there will
barrier
be
healer,
a fairly powerful enhancement
Yeah, that's
that
how I-
can be targeted to
Yeah, that's how I've
a
always played
single
Scholar, is
party
barrier
member.
heals.
で、ちなみに今お話ししたその
Now it's just
Kinda
being
have to do
further
that.
cemented into that.
はどっちかっていうと
Yeah, so now it's permanently going to be a
範
barrier
囲軽
healer.
減のアビリティなんです
And I don't have a problem with that, but like,
で、さらに
you're telling me that they
移動速度が
didn't add
一定
anything to
上が
use
ります
more of the job gauge? 'Cause the
Yeah,
job
I
gauge
feel
feels-
like they're just not
Mentioned
talking
earlier
about it.
about,
Is really.
Which
Yeah.
is fine.
It might just be one of the ones too where they're still working on it.
Party is actually like a fringe benefit.
And they said
of
not
the
everything
action
is going to
itself.
be
It's actually
shown,
meant
you know?
to be
Of course.
like a
I'm just
damage
very
reduction buff that applies to
I just wish
Yoshi
they did
P
some-
has
a
enough of
range,
this
an area
sleeve.
of range.
I give up.
Yeah, they're probably still really trying to figure out how to get it to hold up against Sage.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you make a whole bunch of new abilities for a shield healer and give it all to Sage. Like, oh shit, Scholar, what do we give them?
Yeah.
We kind of just give everything to Sage.
Sorry, that's about all we can.
Well, too, and most of the
That's significant
healer
for the
population
scholar.
usually switches over to
さ
the
あ、そ
new
れで
class,
は
or like figures it
残
out,
る
and
一ジョブ、こちら
So they
に参
have
りましょう
time.
Yeah.
Like when Machinist was released, Bard was pretty much forgotten about for a while.
Oh yeah.
Let's be fair. When Machinist came out, Bard was not that great either at that point.
No, it wasn't.
I'm sorry, Aqua, but
No, you're not wrong.
You're not
Possesses
wrong.
all the actions essential for a barrier healer. That tells us nothing.
yeah, because barrier healers do. Thanks, guys.
Well, that's cool. Able to attack and heal at the same time.
Oh.
Wait.
He
You-
protects, but he also attacks.
So you probably mark a target as like your heal target,
that's
like dance partner.
That's why that one line laser. I thought it looked goofy, but that one line laser does deal damage and heal the tank at the same time.
I wonder if it. I wonder if it.
Something like this in a game for like 20 years. That's awesome.
I wonder if it targeted.
On unique
Yeah.
resources for healing and enhancements, as well as attack magic. As you can see in the job HUD example here.
I was wondering if it targeted one for the tank, one for the healer, and you want to try and hit the boss with both of them. Kind of cool. Yeah. Well, if it aims to the center of the boss, kind of thing. You just stand behind your tank, you're fine.
Yeah.
So again, to reiterate, you would designate a party member to sort of heal, and then as you attack,
We're standing at
your
the back of the
enemy,
party for
then
line
whomever you
stacks.
designated will receive healing.
Interesting.
So it's dance partner for you.
Yeah.
Fine.
Which would be really good
A
for
vampire
controller.
with extra steps.
But it's a really good controller healer.
So this is called.
I mean, yelling on a controller wasn't hard.
Cardia. Cardia, and then you would typically, I think it would work well if you specify like your main tank, off tank, as your sort of designated person to heal.
I really want to play Sage now that I know that. I really want to play it.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Hey, let me do it, please. Excellent. I can be Sage
And then,
now. Awesome.
There's another
Confirmed.
unique characteristic.
We have to go back to Al Ra
where,
now.
Sometimes an action that
Yeah,
you
the Al Ra,
execute
the picture is cute as
might
fuck.
be like when you're hitting somebody, an
She's like,
enemy,
"I did a good
it
job, right?" Yeah.
turns into a dot also, like a damage over time.
You said, are these sunglasses?
Wait, what?
A tiara? I don't know.
Wait, hitting an enemy turns it into a dot? What'd they say?
She dot.
And then there is a
That's just a
resource
dog.
that the sage uses, which is the Adder's Gall, that kind of accumulates over time, so that you can execute your instant barrier heals.
あとはイカロスっていう動画でも飛んでた移動アクションがあるんで、まあ、テクニカルバリアヒーラーって感じですね。イメージ。
And then in terms of like a gap closer or like a movement type action, we have Icarus. You may have noticed in the video that the sage is kind of flying. So it's kind of positioned as a technical barrier healer.
これね、ちょっと実機でも説明難しいんだけど、一応出してみる？一応出してみるか。
So explaining this like even on the gameplay screen might be a bit complex, but I guess we should try it. Try to see it on the game screen.
Yes, please.
4。
はい、画面お願いします。
I was like,
That's a Reaper.
I was looking at the abilities, I'm like, wait, they have the same ability icons as Reaper does. Then I realized they were a Reaper.
Well,
God, those are so cool.
She's ready to stab.
she was like, she's running across the battlefield.
ここだけ見ると
What you got over
原
there,
因がわ
Sage?
からなかったね
Knives. Oh.
Just looking at
The
this
knife.
image,
No.
you can't really
Get the knife.
Whoa.
distinguish like, wait, what kind of game is this again?
この剣具の収まり方結構こだわりましたんで。
確かに。
Yeah, you sure this isn't
We're very
PSO2?
particular about
Yeah.
how these
Right?
amulas are sheathed.
I like how they come back and it's just like
結構多いっすよ、アクション。
There's quite a lot of actions available.
で、まずこのカルディアっていう
I mean, as a healer, you usually get a lot of
特
actions.
徴的なんですけど、
A lot of situational stuff.
まず誰を
Wait,
カ
is
モで
that
回復するかっていう
Yeah, I was about to say my white mage
カモ
bars
ラと
look
いう言い方だと
worse than that. I'm not
ちょっと
even
語弊があるの
like
かもしれないですけど、
level 70
まあ
yet.
指定を
No, I mean I look at a lot of the same
必要がある。
looking things, but is that a fucking astro bubble over there?
And so, going back to Cardia,
Exquisite.
this is
So,
quite unique.
every healer has a bubble.
And so you'll be
Oh, I see it
designating
now.
who
No, that's
you
just straight
want
up celestial.
To
Might be a
heal.
temporary icon.
It might not be fully accurate to call it partner, but I mean, you're pointing out, you're designating somebody you will be healing.
はい。今自分に貼りました。
Call it target acquired.
Nice.
Now it's up to me.
で、ちょっと攻撃を。
We'll try attacking.
That
And
sounds
then the one for attacking enemies, call it fucking enemy spotted.
すごい SF 感がすごいです。
Yeah, I love how
As you
classic
are attacking,
most of the sound effects for this
because,
class.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's
Because
really
anyway,
tickling me.
As
Yeah.
I land an attack, the heal kicks in to heal me.
Kinda cool.
スタッフ的にどうですか
Yeah,
?SE
so I actually kill people by clearing.
SE っていう。あらやだ SE っていうコメントが。
Please stop DPSing and heal me. I am healing you.
A lot of people comment
I am
on
healing
the
you.
sound effect, the sound effect, the sound effect. How is it sound team? Is it,
I can't yell about that anymore. Holy shit, that was a big heal.
that was.
It's only for
But on like just a basic attack while you're also doing damage.
Yeah, that's
Also,
it was quite surprising.
man,
when
that's even a
I
healer
heard
for
it when
me
I was
because I
doing
don't
the
have to heal. I can
attacks.
just deep.
そしてですね、このエウクラシア。
It really then comes down to how much
技
damage
が
the
ね、
tank
一
is
気に
taking,
変わ
you
った
know?
りします。
Because we don't know how that's all going
今
to be
単純な
adjusted.
攻撃魔法でした。
This may not be enough to keep someone alive.
これが
Well, that's why it's a barrier healer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
色が変わって、
The thing is that healing, what you will compare it to other classes, it will
So
be
the
regen
one
and
which we were talking
very
about,
healing.
where
That's
a good
attacks
point, yeah.
turn to something that
I
can
think
face
it's
a
about
dot,
the same.
that would be the Eucrasia. So once you cast that, an attack changes into something that would allow for damage over time.
Okay.
The stance for turning an attack into a dot.
Yeah.
Oh. Huh.
Which I assume would then
Or a
apply.
barrier.
Huh.
に使えば。
You heal over
I got
time
you.
too?
I got you.
なるほど。
Yeah.
It kind of augments the different actions that the
I
sage
love it.
can cast.
Dude, those old school sound effects.
But say it sounds like
Jesus
Cure from
Christ.
Kingdom Hearts. Does it
Yeah,
not?
it sounds exactly like Cure from Kingdom Hearts. It sounds exactly like that.
oh,
お分かり
You
Yeah.
see?
That was cool.
So that's the AoE they have. It's similar to Holy and such.
It's just on them.
Yeah.
like Holly.
ま
Okay, it's just a little.
ah.
That was a
So-
barrier. But it's,
It's a shield and a regen effect, it looks like. Okay.
oh, that's a big dash too.
あ出ますいろいろ。
Yes.
Augmented.
Was it like a dancer dash?
いや、
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looked
使ってもらえれば面白さは保証するんですけど。
They are very, very like
I think it might take a bit to master, but once you do get the hang of it, it is quite fun.
It does look cool. It has a lot of stuff going on.
ヒーラーをソロで説明するの
It's a lot of
I could just listen to those skills all
Yeah,
day.
it looks tough to explain healers.
I think I agree on that.
When you are solo.
Yeah, look how many
Yeah,
buffs it has. Like I get one of them to their own target thing, but
コメントは
Yeah, they're probably all similar
全
shields
然あれ
too.
なん
We
ですよ
actually,
ね SE と
you
I
see
was
the
looking at the shields the whole
ガンダム
time.
の
The
話
shields
し
are
てない
not
ですみん
huge.
な。
For some reason.
The comments are filled with, oh, the sound effect, or it's like
Yeah.
Gundam.
like Gundam.
It could be circumvented because he's probably not even melded. Right? He's probably wearing.
You know what you have to deal with now too, Chronic? You're gonna have a sage who looks like they're in a fine spot, and then dashes into a bad spot and then rescues you.
Not only that, they're going to dash into a bad spot, and I'm already going to have them targeted for a manipulation, and I'm going to slide to them. And then they're just going to take me across the battlefield. I'm like, wait!
In any case,
and then my ley lines isn't up. My ley lines wasn't down because they didn't reduce the cooldown on it for no reason. So I don't have a safe place to go back to.
It's worth sort of mastering the skills.
Yeah, I really want to play that
Sage
now.
brings to you, and then of course we have the Reaper joining the melee DPS.
Reaper and Sage both feel like a higher skill cap than usual. Which I'm totally down for.
So we hope that people will.
It would be interesting
enjoy
for
this
someone like me to learn it. I'm very picky.
The theory cracking for them are gonna be nuts.
I was gonna say they cater to both the casual player base and the raid tier.
Yeah.
So this concludes the first part of today's letter live.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he not joking?
I just
I hope he is.
The first part.
I don't think he is.
So we have two.
I think they're gonna show
parts.
some art.
Yeah.
Like I said, that was part 1 of job
では
adjustments.
第2部に行く前に、ここで一旦休憩にしましょう。改めて休憩を挟みたいと思います。で、ここまでいろいろご説明しましたので、ここで改めて、休憩のお供にですね、
Damn, I thought I was
ジョ
going
ブ
to
アクシ
sleep.
ョン動画を改めて流します。なので、自動的に、休憩は20分休憩です。はい。なので、今まで
Like
今の
Yoshi
情
P's
報
feeling
を
the same
改めて頭の中で整理しながら、改めてジョブアクションとか見ていただければと思います。はい。
He said I haven't seen my bed in weeks.
We want to take some break. And then for this break,
Probably has a blanket and a pillow in his
the job
office.
action video again.
100%.
So
I would not be
with
It's actually
surprised.
sitting right behind him.
For each job in mind, please check the job action video. So the length of the break this time
That's why they
will
were
be
late.
20 minutes.
They had to clean up his room.
ではよろしいでしょうか。
Fuck that, I'm going to bed.
それでは改めてビデオを見ましょう。
I'll
So
see
let's
the art
check
and
the
stuff.
video.
Wait, we're getting a video.
どうぞ。
Video.
Is it gonna be job actions again? Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they just said that they're
playing.
showing the job actions again for 20 minutes.
Yeah, their break is gonna be 20 minutes. They're just
I'll watch
replaying this so people can
Yeah, I want to watch it again anyway, so
I'm probably gonna watch it like 7 or 8 times. So
I really want this to end so I can go watch the job trailer more. Oh, it got really loud.
Unfortunately, that's where I have to call it quits.
Alrighty.
Later, Inky.
I'm so tired. I'm gonna find my battle. That and let me. Good
have a
night.
good night.
Good night.
Combat's come a long way since 2.0, boys.
Yeah, it has. But that's so cool.
It had a weird like song to it. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's just normal Dragoon. It's a little different now, but that was a standard Dragoon.
Yeah, no, I'm just like that song.
Always had that.
Comes out of
Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. That's always been there.
I know, but it comes out of nowhere because everything else on Dragoon is just slash boom, and then there's this random. Wait, they didn't show the punching skill in this, I think.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they
It's
did?
right here. It comes up.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, dude, that's cool. I play Warrior just to punch shit. If you want to punch shit, play more. Nah, it ain't the same.
No. I want to
It's
punch you and
personal.
break this guy.
Yeah, it becomes personal when you choose to throw down a giant axe in order to punch someone.
Sonic.
That's so cool. Have you watched the
part of the film.
Have you watched the whole full thing yet, Double?
No, I haven't.
You're in for a treat.
There's a lot of cool shit.
Fucking Sinister's gonna pee his pants when he sees this.
I just started playing Red Mage recently, and I'm excited for this.
Look at that barrier.
No.
Fucking spicy. Run like the wind, little guy.
Oh, did I miss it?
It's interesting how not flashy Scholar is when you see it like that.
Yeah.
But if they increase the buffs for the shields,
Oh yeah.
it's going to be fine. Which they probably did.
I'm just saying, in a trailer like this, where all you see is literally all you can see is how flashy his class is, and then Scholar, you're like,
I was gonna say Twitch chat was all like F in the chat.
Oh yeah, dude, the
Like-
subreddit right now
Yeah.
is just shitting all over Scholar.
Everyone's like, Scholar and Dark Knight got destroyed into the stick on this one.
And like they had to above Investing Scholar, so then Sage could be unique too. So
Yeah. I mean, everyone gets shafted somewhere. I mean, Dark Knight got their walking clone, and that was their cool thing.
I'm still happy just getting that. That's so cool.
Everyone has their moment to get something cool. Sometimes you don't. This happens.
Black Mage has always gotten something cool.
You're just due for it. That's all that means. Next expansion, you're just gonna get another fire, and it's like, congrats. That's all you get.
I'm telling you, one of these days they're just gonna put meteors into my rotation. Please, for the love of God.
LB just becomes part of your rotation.
Yeah, I mean, Astro rains stars from the heavens, so why can't I rain meteors?
I
So
really want to know
my
what
one
Dancer's
cat right
doing.
now, I just have to share. My one cat right now has the Puss in Boots, really big eyes, like
Ari,
sweetly.
thank you for the sub. See, I'm glad you appreciate Dark Knight.
No, I have the laser pointer.
But yeah, I think that most of the jobs are pretty damn
We have a
exciting.
kitty. We have a pet channel. There we go.
2 years, goddamn. Doing the Lord's work, alright? Doing the Lord's work. I'm finding my bad habits. There's people on the subreddit who are just like, Scholar and Dark Knight got shafted.
Actually asking for Blue Mage.
I really like this machine that gets like a double pile bunker. That's cool.
See, I really want them to add Beastmaster, but like as a tank class.
That's what I wanted. I wanted a Beastmaster. I didn't care what class it was.
I think if we get Beastmaster, it'll be like Blue Mage.
Probably.
I really hope not. I'll be very angry.
God, I love this song so much. I don't know what this is gonna be in. It's probably a dungeon, but God, I love it.
Oh, the sound being like half a second off really throws me off.
Yeah, that part of stone looks so much better. Damn.
Ari is wanting to know what you feel about Black Mage Chronic.
Oh yeah. I'll let you know in a couple seconds. How about that?
Boom.
Hold on, let me wait for Aquas.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
So
here
we
go
do get
again.
we get a sticker for every song.
And then did you see our gauge? It's when you add a song, it adds 15 seconds.
Yeah. Our songs are more towards that 120-second range.
Which is nice that we can stack songs so you don't have to constantly be like, oh shit, this
Yeah.
ran out.
There's a nice little bit of overlap, it looks like.
I'm okay. I'm happy with that. If anything, I'm.
Yeah, it's just a matter of whatever the fuck that is.
Everyone's like, and even in the Twitch chat right now, Bard, and it's like, y'all don't play Bard. I can tell.
I'm feeling about Bard. I'm excited for Bard changes. It looked good. I think Bard was in a decent spot, and it didn't really need a whole lot more. But it looks like we got some nice stuff. I'm sure that there's enough there to mix up our gameplay a bit. I'm mostly curious what that new song does. I kind of want like a fourth song, but I think those 3 stickers that we get,
I like this
something
weird
else
moon bomb
really does
enemy.
something good.
Kind of goofy.
He looks like he should be in like a Ghostbusters thing.
Yeah, for sure. Samurai pops off here.
You didn't really touch him on.
Ali's gonna be happy with his class.
Yeah.
He has to work this weekend, so I'm pretty sure he didn't get.
Yeah, I really like that salted lip chain. Looks good. Wondering if it follows you. That's my big question.
And everybody was like, oh.
God, that's so
Clap
cool.
twice really hard.
But it's got that meaty sound effect it needs.
Oh yeah, it goes big dick.
Like you can hear the splashing. It's definitely water.
Yeah, I love it.
You see them embrace that.
It's a cool little effect. There's the totem. Or should I say the distinct and unique
Field effect.
Field effect. Yeah.
Such a good descriptor.
That's what they called it.
Yeah, I know.
Functionally is the same as a level.
Dude, Ninja looks sick right here.
I'm gonna say this makes me want to.
And they did not acknowledge this part where they don't cast Mudras.
Yeah, it's like because they used mudras at one point, but for all this stuff, they're not using any mudras.
Exactly.
I wonder if they'll get like a true north, but for mudras, so you can cast some without having to use mudra.
Yeah.
No, they said they changed it for right on the top and put on. Those are the ones that kids use.
Gotcha.
Say I'm excited for more elephant decor.
So sick, dude. Oh, here we go, baby.
So it's raining outside, buddy.
That staff looks sick.
Cold and wet.
No more Nokian, I love it.
You hear that, Pixel? She said it's a personal problem.
So, pop off, little guy.
Are you gonna change to lava just for this?
Hell no. Now, is that the high fire you're talking about? The icing fire one? They didn't acknowledge that one. Which is really just a better Fire 3? Or Blizzard 3? That's high fire, I guess. I think Dazzling's high fire.
Yeah,
That looks so sick.
It's like a little meteor. What do you mean?
It's so sick. It's getting there, dude. I'm telling you. It's gonna
a little
happen.
meteor.
It's gonna get there. Wait a second. Wait a second.
I'm waiting.
Okay, who's played Black Mage? Who's played Black Mage before? So they'll understand what I'm talking about.
I have, but you know.
He triple casted Flare without any Umbral Hearts.
Yes.
Usually Flare just eats up exactly all of your MP. So you usually need Umbral Heart.
I'm assuming good thing.
Yeah, that's a great thing. It doesn't eat up all my MP or something.
Yeah, unless they like reduce the damage or the potency by too much.
No, literally how the skill works is it in order to cast the spell, the MP cost is all of your. And so usually you would have Umbral Hearts, which reduce the MP cost.
Okay.
Right,
Okay,
and that allows you to do the triple flare combo. But in that,
so
you didn't need Umbral Hearts. So
that could be a bad thing.
No, it's a great thing. Trust.
I mean, yeah, you think they're just gonna like reduce the cost of something without changing the effect or rebalancing it?
It's still an AoE skill. It's an AoE skill that I don't have to, like, it's better.
Well, and two, they added in that caveat where sometimes it's good to break your rotation and your fire and ice thingy to benefit something. So that's
That's
what they said.
I guess
So
I missed
sometimes
that.
you get a better, yeah, they said that in the like script
And the
part.
third new class.
They basically said that sometimes there's a benefit to doing that, so that's going to add in that complexity to Black Mage.
You meaning dropping stacks?
Yes. They said
Dropping
something about
stacks? What?
that. Yeah. Yeah, they said that there's a... How did I catch this and you missed this?
Because we were probably talking.
Oh. What did they say? Someone probably lied.
That doesn't make sense. Because they also said that there will be a benefit to using an added benefit to using your tank cooldowns at the right time, which didn't make any sense either. They didn't explain it.
They're gonna introduce perfect blocks now. You use your
Well, they said that
cooldown right
they
when the
did
damage
specifically.
hits.
They did specifically say that that's not what it is.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
That's good.
But
That
they
would be
didn't
crazy.
That's what it looked like to me.
Oh, is it just because the bard's standing there? Like, why did
No,
he shoot it?
I think that was that one utility skill they talked about.
Oh.
So party members within range get hit with it.
It sounds like it. You get something from that.
Oh yeah, because they did say it looks like he pulls something from the bar or something, right? Paladins do combo are gonna be sick.
Is that Clemency with the D20 over his head?
Yes.
Pop off. Oh.
Or swords. I love it.
Glad that we get to fly a pizza slice to the moon.
Getting the Dorito.
Yeah, it's the Dorito
It
sponsor.
reminds me
Dorito.
of the Star Wars.
Oh yeah, it's 100% a Star Destroyer.
Star Destroyers. Yeah.
I didn't know what it was called, but it's the Star Wars thing.
Stream has ended. Cricket noises.
Yeah, I have to go for dinner.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think I can make it through the next 2 parts.
I mean, we've been
more
watching for like 4
parts?
hours.
Oh my god. These kids gotta learn how to make a shorter presentation.
So
No.
I'll probably catch you guys tomorrow.
I
Adios.
Adios.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta go back and find. Did they break up? Okay, let me check. I do remember them saying something about like the Fire and Thunder procs too, but I didn't get to hear it because we were talking about that too.
I only know a few jobs really well, and one of them is Bard.
Let's see.
And I know if I ever played Scholar, like raid level, I would need to be with like a white mage that could overheal.
I feel like it'll feel better to have one of each, like a dedicated healer and a barrier. Like it'll just feel nicer.
I'm saying with barrier healing, it's a lot of like I play old school, like my Scholar old school more or less. So I've been barrier healing the whole time. So I'm like, why is everyone freaking out? They're like, we have a tight schedule, but look, we're gonna do all these things.
はい、戻ってまいりました。ファイナルファンタジー14第66回プロデュースされたライブをお送りしております。So, welcome back. Yeah, we are back. Now we are running the Final Fantasy 14 Letter from the Producer Live number 66, explaining the lots of new features for our next expansion and work. はい、ということで、ここから第2部をお送りしていきたいと思いますが、よろしいでしょうか。
最初にですね、前半のちょっとフォローが1個あってですね、召喚師のエギミラプリの話をレベルが上がるとカーバンクルが他のエギになっていくので、姿をカーバンクルに戻したりできますよっていう話をしたと思うんですけど、ごめんなさい、あれ逆で カーバンクルがもう全基本にいて、これにイフリートエギミラプリをしたりとか、姿を変えられます。すいません、もう召喚は何度もちょっとひっくり返してきてたんで逆に覚えてましたということなので、まあいずれにせよミラクルできますっていう話でした。はい。
Apologies. We wanted to clarify.
Okay, what I missed?
Make a correction on something that we had made. We had mentioned in the first half.
I left it in job trailer.
Where we were talking about the summoner and the Eggy. But we mentioned earlier about how once you level up, your Eggy turns into like Ifrit and whatnot. I actually had it backwards. Apologies. It's Carbuncle is the base form, and then you can glamour it to look like Ifrit, etc. So apologies for that.
はい、ありがとうございます。Thank you very much. ではここからは第2部といたしまして、バトル関連調整をご紹介いただきたいと思います。
今までのはバトル関連調整じゃなかったんかいっていう感じです。
From now on, now we want to explain battle adjustments. はい。
Okay. Weren't jobs also part of the adjustments? I guess.
Okay.
Could be.
さあ行きますよ。まずは。
King, that really was only part 1 of battle changes. Jesus Christ.
まずレイドファインダー。
Yeah, but that really makes sense. One pure healer and one
こちらです。今回ヒーラーがピュアヒーラーとバリアヒーラーに分かれるということで、マッチングのアルゴリズムもピュアヒーラーとバリアヒーラーで、マッチングされる。
Makes sense. Just for a raid fighter in that sense. So automatically trying to look for that.
We are going to be making adjustments for the matching system or the algorithm to accommodate for sorting out the barrier healers and the pure healers.
Because they know people will be like, oh, we have 2 shield healers and raid finder. We can't beat this. Disband.
ごめんいいよ。
Raid finder will now have.
I'm thinking they definitely beefed up Scholar's shield.
Yeah.
There's really not much of a need to like sort the different the other ones.
They'll probably make a new party finder role for shield and heal healer.
まあなんかちょっといくつかコメントがあるんであれなんですけど、まあ前にもこれ実は話してるんですけど、レイドファインダーやっぱりこれ以上細かく条件を割るとマッチングが伸びすぎてダメなんですよ。なので、まあこれ以上細かくであればパーティー募集を使ってください。ぜひ。はい。
I do see some comments mentioning about how they are wondering about, well, what about other sort of sorting and like categorization? But if we add more conditions to the different raid finder, like party composition algorithm, so to speak, it's going to lengthen the time it would take for a party to be matched up. So if you want to be very granular about who joins the party, it might be best to go to the party finder.
さあではそのパーティー募集の続いてアップデートのお話でございます。
Next up is updates made to the party finder.
まずパーティー募集に出すときにヒーラー枠をピュアヒーラーとバリアヒーラーでもちろん分割できるようになっております今回。
So of course,
Makes sense.
With the party finder too, the healer category will be split between pure and barrier healer.
でさらにですね、よくこうなんかいろいろ揉める原因にもなってたところなんですけど、参加条件にですね、今回コンプリート済みでかつ修正源を今週まだ受け取ってないよっていうのを追加しました。はい。
And the second point kind of
I'm surprised it took
some of
this long for that one to be added.
Discourse, so to speak,
Hmm?
or like arguments that may happen, which
the
is,
weekly completion.
and in order to mitigate it, sorry. And that is a new option for players who have yet to receive weekly completion rewards will be added to the participation conditions.
なので、もう今週断賞でいいですと。助けてくださいと。今週クリア済みの方でもいいので参加くださいっていう時は、この参加条件これ入れなければ、そういうマッチングに。
It's for real though, Aqua. Like I'm cool with it, man.
So if people are okay with just receiving the tokens, then and they don't mind not having the
It
the
even like
weekly completion
thematically
reward,
fits with like
then you would not need to like specify to this
your character
option.
further
それからです
mastering
ね
that
続いて、
Mhm.
ジョブ重複制
that
限
job. Like
で、検索には引っかかっちゃってたんですよねこれ
I don't have to do this
僕はよく
every
ヨシピさん
so
と参加
often
するとき
anymore.
に
Like I
そういうの
just
やってたんです
do
これ
it
も
now.
検
Like I
索
just
からも
am
選
that
べ
now.
この
You
チェッ
know.
クボックス入ってると
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that one though.
No longer include parties who cannot join due to the one player per job requirement. This was actually something that Yoshida also got stuck on sometimes in some of his
If I'm searching for something as like say a bard, I'm like, oh, but I can go into it as red mage or a tank or this or that. Like, I don't want to switch to every job and research the queue.
さらに進めていこうと思います。
はい、お願いします。
Unless it's like a filter option.
コンテンツ報酬のちょっと調整を行っております。それがこちらです。
We made some duty reward adjustments.
武器がドロップすると熱戦もともとね武器直ドロップ1個あったと思うんですけど、まあジョブが増えたということがありまして、今回ジョブ
So you get 2 weapons per drop now?
1個ドロップするのは変わらず、それ以外にもう1個、開ければその開けたジョブの武器に変わるという武器チェストを追加することにしました。
So
Wait,
trials with weapon
that's like
drops
making
will
my
now
brain hurt.
drop a weapon coffer in addition
'Cause it's
to the
worded
original
weird.
weapon reward.
So
What
I
this
think
means
it's
is, of course, with the dungeon loot, of course, when a weapon drops, it's randomized. And
so now
with
trials will drop not only a weapon but also a weapon coffer.
Of course, we will keep that original.
Like if a bow.
Of a weapon.
So it'll drop like a bow, but also drop a coffer. And then I can pick up the bow, and any one of you can argue over the coffer.
Whatever weapon of the person who opens the coffer will get as like an additional.
Yeah, now, well, you still could potentially run it 7 times. It could drop bow and then coffer, and then only ever drop bows again and still coffer.
What it really means is you run it 5 times instead of or whatever. Like you run it half as many times in order to get your weapons from.
Not really though, because it could potentially drop a bow every single time with a coffer. So you still have everyone else run it 7 times to get the coffer.
Up through 3.x will now drop a weapon coffer in addition to the
Yeah,
original
but I mean,
obviously that won't
doesn't
happen.
that often.
But
yeah,
it could
you
still
run it less times.
It could still end up dropping weapons that your party doesn't use.
Yeah, but you still run it.
Yeah.
Ideally, you run it less.
Yes.
than
Overall.
8 times. That's.
Because we have the
But it does
weapon
guarantee you that
randomized
8 runs
weapon
is all you
drop,
need.
And then
Yeah.
the coffer
Which
is
is interesting. I didn't know that was a
if you're
thing.
lucky, 2 people will be able to obtain
Yeah, like
a weapon of
like for new stuff, totally cool. I didn't know we were adding it retroactively. Which I guess makes sense because new players want to get new stuff or the old stuff.
続いてどうぞ。4.x までの高難易度レイドでドロップする防具アクセサリーが、
I
全部
mean,
チェストに
it only helps the game, doesn't hurt it.
変わります。
I mean, this older adding it to older stuff, I get,
High-end raids
but
released up
that's not what that
through
original
4.x
thing said.
will now
Like that'll
drop
be
gear
Yeah.
and
all
accessories in the
extremes.
form of coffers. Originally, these were also like a randomized direct drop, but we're changing these to a coffer.
なので全て同じ仕様に今回統一して過去のコンテンツも改めて報酬のドロップテーブルを変えてですね
I thought they did drop coffers.
まあ同じルールでね、いけるように、してきました。
No.
Yeah, they did.
So
You'd
we
open the
tried to
chest and it'd be a
even out,
coffer, and you get it, and then
make
you
it,
open it
the
to get
same
your.
across the board,
In
and
Eden,
then
yeah.
sort of,
Yeah, but that's what I'm
revisit the
saying.
drop table of past content as well, so that we can add that sort of coffer.
Oh, up
to
to?
these different content.
But trials didn't do that.
そうですね。まあ
So they're saying they're adding that to
This is
trials
raids,
and
raids right here. High-end raids released up through 4x.
yes, in the previous one.
Yeah, so it's
said
everything
trials.
before Shadowbringers is what it's saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Additional enhancements can be separated.
Up through and up to Like it should be up
So we
to,
covered the different reward
not up
updates.
through.
Next up is adjustments made to
Does that make
the
sense?
HUD.
Because up through my brain says yeah through Shadowbringers.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, no,
That's just
Shadowbringers
a
is
probably
5 now.
translation.
yeah. So yeah, it's all Shadowbringers has that. For the proc type. Oh, we can separate procs, dude.
To identify a trigger buff, or English says
That's so
conditional
good.
enhancements. Sorry, basically like procs that are applied.
Be separated as a new separate category.
Do you know how like you'll get a buff for like thunder or like or whatnot?
Oh, you can move that.
That
from
could be
the
a
normal-
separate hotbar. Yeah.
Or like I can set that to show up on the other side.
Yeah,
of my
like
character.
that. That looks so good. That's perfect. Again, something that I didn't know I needed, but will definitely use.
Example is Black Mage,
Yeah.
but with the Fire 3 proc and the Thunder proc, it's beneficial sometimes to separate it
No,
out.
you,
from the
it can
different,
always
like,
be Black Mage. I'm cool with it. Don't worry
buffs
about
that you may
it.
have, just so that you have that.
Meaning
indicator.
Yoshi
So,
was getting all the screenshots.
we are
and-
now able to sort of split out.
Like on
the
Dancer, like if you use your
enhancements and feeblements,
one that gives you all your
and now
procs,
we
you
will
got
have
like
the
suddenly
proc or
5
the
procs on screen along with every other buff you have, and you're like,
separate it out
too
and
much
then
info.
place it where you feel is best to get a view of.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you kind of memorize where they show up, but
Yeah.
it'll be nice that you can move them somewhere else. Like I can actually move them to where.
Yeah. Put like right next to my hotbar or something.
Yeah, or next to my character's head.
That's it.
Where I'm already looking or something.
I don't have that luxury. That's where text goes.
With being able to separate out just the procs that show up, or the conditional enhancements, you can, for example, place it near your job HUD or your job gauge so that you can just
Yep.
look to one section to identify any sort of buffs that have been applied on a proc.
I just like separate so I can just see my buffs
Or,
only.
because you can
Nice.
adjust the elements that you have in the separated sort of display. You can also change the display size as well if you want it to be more like prominent on the screen.
Yeah, I want my procs as fat as
かな
possible.
りね、もう助かる人多いんじゃないかなって気がします。
見逃さないように。
はい。
We're hoping that this would be very beneficial.
So it
and
didn't
will help,
happen.
People who do want to keep those like separated or keep track of them separately.
で、続いてなんですけど、グラウンドターゲットの利便性を向上させるアップデートを、入れております。
Next up is improved
Ground
ground targeting
Yeah.
functionality.
Like your LB and whatnot.
ですね、キャラクターコンフィグにこれ、今までの挙動の方が好きだったっていう方もいると思うので、キャラクターコンフィグって選べるようにしてあります。まず設定を新たに項目追加してます。
So I'm sure people still prefer the current ways. So we made it so that it is selectable.
Oh, nice.
So we basically added it as a new setting in the character configuration menu.
こちらです。言い方としてはですね、グラウンドターゲット
Oh, that's so good too.
グラウンドターゲットマーカー出るし、そのアクションボタンをもう一回押すとその置いてある場所にもう即実行されるっていう形になるんで、
I like that second option.
Same. Especially on controller, because if I move it on controller, it goes too far out. It's also bound to my like movement button, so it's like it's weird to try and adjust and.
Target circle. So basically, say you wanted to activate a ground target related action. You can just press the same button again to confirm that this is where you want to place the ground target. So I think people using the controller might have a smoother time setting their ground target.
Ground targets on controller are always just let me face my camera in the center of the screen, point that at where I want to aim, and then use LB. Always got to figure out how you want to do it with a bunch of complicated maneuvers. Ugh.
確認中です。
このワールドメディアツアー2021には実装されてるのか。
To do is implemented on this media Sure. Sure.
ちょっと待ってね。
Since Summoner no longer needs Bane, can Bard have it? Okay, thanks.
あれなんです。今普段吉田さんが開発とチェックしてい
Not
る
wrong.
最新状態のものとはまたちょっと違うバージョンのメディアツアー専用ワールドが今回使ってるところなんですけど、そこに果たしてこのモードがあるのかどうかを今確認しておりますっていう複雑な状態です。Yeah, so this server is special setup dedicated to the media tour 2021. So he's checking if this mode is available on this version. And then 見つけました。
ちょっと待ってね、動作するかだけ確認する。
And then he found something, and then now he's confirming if these are working as desired. So.
Let's make sure it actually works before we do it.
The debug command.
あ、大丈夫。ちょっと待ってよ。あ、リキャスト。あ、これリキャストリセット使えないんだって。
Oh, we can't.
まあ、じゃあ、ちょっと待ってよ。はいはい。じゃあ、時切ってもらって大丈夫。
じゃあゲーム画面お願いします。
Looking at the game screen.
キャラクターコンフィグの中の操作設定で、ターゲットの中にここにグラウンドターゲット設定っていうのがあります。で、ここにグラウンド GT アクションの有効範囲内でのみ操作可能にする。で、これはさっきパワポの2行目にあったそのアクションの、グラウンドターゲットできる距離より、カーソルがもう奥へ行かないなので最も遠いところっていうのが取りやすくなる。すげえ行っちゃって。
Sure, my playbook kitten accidentally moved the Wi-Fi router.
それだけをオンにしたりオフにした
Well,
り。
like the power to it. Behind my couch.
中にもう一
So
回
you
同じアクション
know
をしたらもうその場
everything
で
that was just said for the last like couple
両
minutes.
方分かれてるんで、はい。これまあ両方適用でして。
Someone posted their bingo card for Endwalker. They didn't get a single one of the cards. They missed every single one.
Controls, I believe.
Most of them have just been the opposites.
Where you can set your ground target options. So there are two that is going to be available. One is the aforementioned hitting the action button one more time will place the ground target wherever, or will confirm the placement of the ground target. And then the second one was it prevents the cursor from going beyond the ground target range. So sometimes there might be an instance where the cursor is like way in the background and you're like, oh, wait, I don't want a ground target that far back. You can set the configuration so that it stays within the bounds. And so it allows for you to get like the most optimal, like furthest distance through turning this function on.
ごめんね、英語 UI で出してあげたかったんだけど、私が間違うとあれなんでごめんなさいね。ここにあります。はい。
Apologies. The UI is in Japanese. We wanted to make sure that we set the correct settings, so it's in Japanese at this time, but it will be available on this particular part of the character configuration menu.
で、この状態でもうこれ以上いかないです。わかります？
That's awesome.
With the ground targets kind of bound
I feel like that's how
within
it
that
just
sort
should
of
be.
ground targeting.
That's
Yeah.
I hope you can tell, but the furthest it can go is sort of restricted. So it doesn't go too far back, like it doesn't clip into the building or whatever.
Yeah, you can see the mouse cursor can go further, but the ground target itself won't. I mean, will stop at a certain point. これはいいです。わかりやすい。
で、この状態でもう一回アクション実行すると。
Yeah, it's perfect because you also just get a better idea of the actual range.
Yes, which has never been really clear.
この辺適当にマウス置いといて、こんな感じ。
自動的に一番遠いところまで行ける。
まあ別にこの辺ターゲットしてても使えるけど。
So I guess that first option is instead of clicking, you just hit the skill again?
Yeah, they were saying you press the skill, then press it again.
The mouse cursor
Gotcha.
where
Yeah.
you want to go
That could be
directly, but
pretty-
then if you
pretty
just want
quick.
to
like that.
go as far as you can, then you can just set the cursor to somewhere like close to off screen so that it automatically kind of stays within that target range, but it doesn't go beyond what is available.
不用意に忍者出したらコメントで「あれ襲撃がない!」って書かれた。
So I tried to use the
Yeah, that'll
ninja
definitely make
here,
stuff like
and
ninja
they-
teleporting
they've
so
noticed
much
something is
easier.
missing.
まあなくなってはいない。
Assassinate is not gone.
なくなってはいない。
It's not
Hi.
going forward.
さあじゃあグラウンドターゲットはこんな
はい。
ところですね。はい。
So that covers ground targeting.
じゃあグラウンドターゲットのアップデートは以上で続いていきますね。
はい
続いてはですね、パーティーメンバーの詠唱中ターゲット表示。まあこれだけを見るとなんだかわかんないと思うんで、出しちゃいましょう。
はい。
今、ごめんなさい。あゆみさん、ちょっと待って。
Oh, that's
パ
cool.
ーティーリストの中で、詠唱バー
Bram,
でどの敵を
you can see who's being raised.
どの味方、誰を蘇生してるかっていうのが判別しやすく今回なってます。
You can see
Like it
which
shows-
number.
Yeah, it says like raise 2, so you know they're raised in second person.
Party members target
That's
when
cool.
casting, and it's
Yeah, that's good.
That is really
weird
cool.
to explain it with just this header, but if you look at the
Also, too, when people are casting, you can be
it
like,
makes it
Geo,
easier to discern
you're
which
you're
target
casting on the
or
bomb again.
allies are attacking or reviving.
まあ例えばこの表示に出てるパーティー
Meanwhile, us like physical ones are all like, haha, you'll never know who we're
例え
targeting.
ば左のスクリーンだとモンスターのC 番目の、
はい、
ヘイトリストに対応しているのでその人に対して今詠唱攻撃詠唱を唱えてますよっていうのが左のスクリーンですね。
So it'll show you which number or letter the person or the target is. So in the screen cap on the left side, it shows you are casting glare at enemy C. So whatever's on the aggro list, enemy number C, is being targeted.
で、右側ですが今、1番パーティーナンバー1番の、白魔導士がレイズをかけているのはパーティーリストでいう2番目の、プレイヤーに対してレイズをかけてますよっていうのが、まあ、この意味ですね。レイズ2って書いてあるやつ。はい。
And then the screen grab on the right shows that party member number 1, the white mage, is casting raise to number 2, which you can see is the paladin in that party list.
ちょっと別アライアンスが厳しい。まあまずはパーティー。なんかいず
It
れ
also paints a funny picture, right?
Now this only applies to
Because
parties,
the white mage is glaring, and because of that,
I'm
the
afraid
tank
it
dies.
doesn't
You know, you're right.
just yet. So try to think of something that would make it easier to discern. But,
Look at you,
for
P.
now, it's party members.
Dude, that's hilarious.
I still have those clips where I'm like lying down on the ground and both heal and DPS, and I'm like, no, it's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead, DPS, it's fine.
が出てると思うんですけど、あそこに A、B、C に。
And they both start raising me, and then they both cancel, and I'm like,
Watch that be how Sage raises.
だからパーティーリスト
They just go that they have to do a certain
クリアなん
thing.
で。はい。はい。
And so, just to clarify, the one on the left is when you are attacking an enemy. So it's not necessarily your party member.
Yeah, it's a letter.
As you can see, the letters should correspond to whatever enemy list that you have. Usually, it's like a name and then the alphabet that follows. So it's that letter at the end.
で正直迅
Yeah,
速の
nobody's
方な
gonna
ん
be
で
looking at
正
which
直
enemy
迅
they're
速のはもう
casting
イン
to.
スタントなんでどうにもならないです。ごめんなさい。
People are wondering, oh, what about Swiftcast? And well, that's instant. So I'm sorry, there's not enough time to display who you're casting.
それをやろうとすると、誰が誰を今ターゲット
By the time you figure out, it's already done.
ものすごい勢いでみんなターゲット変えるんで、それはねちょっとさすがに無理ですね。はい。
That one, you would have to show like which one is
Scholar
being
running
targeted very
fast.
quickly. So I'm afraid
Yeah, there was
we
something on the
wouldn't be able to
subreddit
keep
that
up
was
with that
like,
system,
man,
so it's
scholars
not
do gap
applicable.
closure is insane. It's just ironic.
What's funny was that was posted before they found out that that was actual movement skill. So they edited it like, oh shit, it actually is.
キャンセルしようって言ったら、俺も俺がキャストしたのを見て、あ、そっちかけてくれるんだったら俺はっつってどっちもそうわっていうことはあるかなとは思います。
Now you might also have to be mindful because now you'll be able to discern like, oh, this person is casting raise on party member number 2, and say Yoshida is trying to cast raise, and then Foxclaw is also trying to cast raise, and they realize, oh wait, it's the same person. Oh, maybe I should cancel. And
Oh, I've been there before.
nobody ends up casting the raise, so you might want to be careful on that end also.
だから一度先に演唱し始めたら、ガンと強い心で。
So if you know you're the first one who's casting like a raise or a cure of sorts, don't be faltered. don't falter. Keep your casting.
はい、パーティーメンバーの演習中ターゲット表示は以上でした。はい、続いてはですね、戦闘不能時の、0% になってしまったヒットポイントバーっていうのを今回表示するようにしました。
Health bars displayed even incapacitated?
Health bars will be displayed even when incapacitated.
What?
ですね、これ今までヒットポイントバーを常に表示っていう状態に
That's so you can shield my
して
dead
たら、
body.
まあ表示されてたんですけど、初期設定のヒットポイント減少中の場合でもこの倒れてる人のヒットポイントバーがブランク
I
で
guess that way you know someone who's actually dead and playing dead.
Oh, so yeah, maybe it's a thing where like I can't see your body or something. Okay.
When it's set to,
I got
I
you.
believe the default is to show the health bar, but there is a I'm sorry, it's the other way around. When you set the health bar to show all the time, then regardless how much HP is left, you will always see the health bar. But there, with the default option of only display when HP is below 100%, doesn't necessarily show when
Jesus, when an alliance
HP is
wipes.
completely gone. So with this
Could be a lot of
update,
bars.
whenever
The one called earlier when I was
their health bar will
in the middle of the live letter.
a blank page.
I was texting like, oh, I'll call you back like tomorrow afternoon. It was cool. I had a free Minoan, so I just wanted to see what you're doing. I'm like, free Minoans? He goes, free Minoans? What are you talking about? I'm like, I don't know what you told me.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
At first, I read it as like the Girl Scout cookie.
Samoas.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, she has free
I
Samoas.
got free Samoas. Let's go.
And then I kind of went back. I was like, Minoans, like the race? Like, what does that mean?
できてないっていうのがあったりするんで、これを対応すると皆さんぜひ辻レイズバンバンしてあげたりしてください。
So this was in order to combat situations where players are incapacitated during a particular content and they just lay there and nobody wants to, or nobody notices them being KO'd. There are times where people finish a duty and they're like, okay, we're done, we're gone, and you have a party member still on the ground and wondering, oh, but raise, please, everybody go on. So we try to make it easier for people to discern their lies, so-and-so party member who have fought valiantly but is now KO'd.
Okay.
It'd be easier to
so that
spot people in the
will
wild.
notice and cast their raise.
Yeah.
You're so inclined.
はい。で、
Very niche change.
はどっちかというとお知らせなんですけど、ちょっと 6.0 での現透滅戦なんですけど、一回ちょっと封鎖をさせてください。
Really?
No, but it makes sense if they're doing all this rebalancing. They're gonna have to rebalance those.
True.
And they probably just don't have it in the time frame.
っていうのもですね、まずレベル今、90のバランスをめちゃめちゃ取ってるんですよ。全体バランスを。で、そのレベル90の着地どころってギリギリまで調整するので、それからじゃないとやっぱり調整できないんですよね。過去のそのバトルって。なのでちょっと一回そのままとりあえずリバーを開けとけばっていう意見があったんだけどいやただでさえ今長いのにちょっとなんかいくらなんでもなんでちょっと一回封鎖をさせてください。はい。
The reason why is because with the raise the level cap, we still want to continue making adjustments to the overall balance of the different jobs, and we would like to adjust it as long as possible up until the last minute. So before we can attempt sort of updating these Unreal trials to match like the upcoming level cap, I think we still need to kind of see where our standard content kind of works out.
I guarantee you there's going to be patches for numbers and potencies.
Some of you may say just leave Leviathan open.
People looking through the job trailer noticed that in the background, Garlemald has cars, like just normal cars.
Right.
It's just like, why is no one saying anything about this? Garlemald has cars. Canonically.
They did the 15 event.
And so we will resume, we plan to resume from patch 6.1 with new content.
Scholar healing strat 6.0. Run, bitch, run! It's gonna bring a whole new term strategy to Mario Kart strat.
Yeah, Scholar isn't a barrier healer anymore.
It's a dodge healer.
Yeah, it's a dodge healer.
I'll make you faster so you can dodge the hits. You don't get hit. You don't take damage.
They say you no longer have an excuse to not make it out of the AoE.
If you get hit, it's your problem, not mine.
Sorry, can't heal you.
The belt and the removal of said.
まず帯防具はすべて排出停止で装備できなくなります。
So belts will
A
no
very
longer be
welcome
equipable
change.
or obtainable via duty and item exchanges.
そして
What happens to our old
皆さんは
belts?
基本的に何もしなくて大丈夫です。装備中、もしくはアーマリーチェストに
there we go.
入ってる帯防具、それからリテーナーが装備している帯防具っていうのは、すべて我々、データベースを直接調整してですね、遺失物管理人にすべて預けておきますので、リストから後ほど 6.0 リリース後に、選んで回収できるので、皆さんは特に、
Tournament for seals.
どうしてもこれをやっといてくれみたいなのはないです。はい。
But with the discontinuation of build equipment, there really isn't much that you need to do in preparation for it. Anything that was equipped on your character or has been in the armory chest, or if the retainer was holding on to it for you, will all be transferred over. The developers will be handling it on the back end via the database, and we would directly update it so that it'll be given to the Calamity Salvager. So if you want to retrieve them, you can go to the Calamity Salvager and pick it out from a list and retrieve it there.
ですね、それ以外の帯防具はそのまま手元に残ります。で、装着済みのマテリアとか制作品の名はそのまま残るので、マテリアを外すのは後でも大丈夫です。はい。
And all other belts will remain in your inventory as is, and any sort of materia that were affixed or signatures on crafted belts will remain as is. So you don't necessarily have to rush to remove the materials.
そしてですね、エウレカをやり込んでた皆さんが気にされるスピードベルトなんですけど、代替品となる指輪を実装します。
And for those who have been grinding on the Eureka content, may be wondering about the speed belt that was obtained.
Oh, yeah.
that will be replaced with a substitute. A ring
Nice.
will be serving as a substitute for the speed belt.
まあ頑張ってね取っていただきましたんで。
So they're getting rid of belts.
Yeah, they announced that way back when. The belts are just gone.
Well, I don't always read all
You
these
can
things.
exchange it
Yeah.
for the substitute item. I
Yeah,
know you
they're
worked really hard
pretty
to obtain the speed belt.
insignificant.
So, once 6.0
And
releases,
they really like they're
you will be
insignificant.
able to exchange
The,
it for
the
a
stats they give
ring,
can just easily be
that is
put
equivalent. So,
elsewhere,
Reallocated,
do not
yeah.
throw
or
away your speed belt.
reallocated or even compensated for.
I think the main reason they're doing it is so that we can get the spaces that are for belts used for everything else.
Absolutely, yeah. They fuck up
あのね
loopholes.
ちょっと待って左から先に
おー
出して、一気に出すとわけわかんなくなっちゃうんで、まず 6.0 前でしかできないの
Oh, this is
が
for belts.
左側に並んでます
Okay.
マテリア生成。
Like
だから
what you can do
こ
with
れ
them.
連成度100のベルトがあるならマテリア生成はしといた方がいいと思います。で、マーケットの出品とか購入、あとリーブへの納品、あとグランドカンパニー、軍需品調達への納品とか、こんな、あとチェストをなんか霊式結構言ってて、帯のチェストそのまんまだったわみたいなやつは開けないともう使えなくなっちゃうので、これは気をつけてください。
So we're summarizing here. On the left side is available only before patch 6.0 or the expansion. So if you want to extract materia or like create materia out of belt equipment, you can only do that before Endwalker is released. Buying and selling of the belt equipment on the market board, turning it into different leaves, etc. Also for coffers, those who go to different raids and realize that they have like built coffers, you won't be able to use those after the expansion releases, so you might want to take care of that.
ちなみに一番下ね、中身が帯防具のみのチェストなので、帯と他が1個になってるみたいなのもあるんですけど、それは帯だけ出てこないです。で、これはもう開けられないので、帯防具のみのチェストは、そこは気をつけてください。
And just a disclaimer, with these coffers, there are different types where it's just the belt equipment or a coffer that has a belt and something else. Because belts will be discontinued, coffers that only contain a belt will not even be able to be opened. It's like defunct at that point. But if it's a coffer that contains something else with a belt, only the belt will be discontinued. So you'll still get the whatever it was paired with or included in the coffer, but just not the belt.
どうしました？
コメントでたまたま。ちょっと待って。パンツ gonna fall down now.
We're seeing comments with the belts being removed, the pants are going to fall down. And that just caught Yoshino's eyes.
ベルトなくなるからな。そうね。
For sure, all the belts holding up your different pants are gonna go away, huh?
そしてですね、6.0 になってからでもできること、帯防具に対してできることがこちら。つけてあったマテリアを 6.0 になってからでも回収はできます。あとショップに売却することもできます。で、分解してしまうこともできますし、グランドカンパニーの希少品調達への納品は可能です。あと捨てることも可能です。
And now for what you can do even after the launch of Endwalker is if you, for example, had affixed some materia on your belt, then you can retrieve those. You can also go to shop vendors, not the market board, but the shop vendors to sell off these belts. You can also do synthesize, you can also do expert delivery, turn in. Of course, you can throw it away also.
ちょっとパンツボールからのウィーフォールって書いてあって
We're singing.
シャドーブリンガーズかよってなっちゃった。
Oh
my
gosh, so funny.
で、マーケットに出てる帯防具 6.0 前にマーケットに出てたやつはもう検索に引っかからないようになるので、皆さんで取り下げをしてってください。
So whatever you had up on the market boards will not be searchable after the expansion has launched. So if you had anything up listed in the different market boards, you might want to take them down.
今 BG のシャドウブリンガーズにしたら
Change the background using the shadow fingers.
さあここまでがベルトに関してオビゴングでした。はい。続いてこれもねずっとお伝えしてきたんですけど、今日の実機見ていただいたやつもすでにそうなってますけど、デノミネーションについてです。はい。
Get into the
And
number scrunch.
We looked at the game screen, and you may have already noticed some of the numbers being sort of compacted.
Seems like all the interesting stuff is gone, so I might call it there.
まずレベル50からレベル80までの
Same. I really